All right, it's Thursday night. It's the BS sessions, and with me as always is my brother from another mother, Mr. Big Sexy. What's up, brother?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. I saw you're wearing the Montana, so I grabbed the Montana. I go, oh shit, he's wearing. I'm gonna get 80.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're wearing jerseys? Oh my gosh.
just playing slalom with the tornadoes here tonight.
Oh
Oh yeah.
shit.
Yeah, it's a pretty rough night, but I'm alive. That's all that matters. February tornadoes, man. What the hell, man?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's
But
that
anyway,
climate change, man.
let's talk to our guest here, man. First of all, my co-host from the Gridiron SmackDown wearing one of the coolest shirts I've ever seen, Andy. Oh, by the way, Andy,
Yeah.
I mailed it out today. We'll
Get
be
it
there within a
done, dude. I
week.
can't wait. I can't wait.
I am so sorry, dude. I can't believe it's been what 4 months. I am so sorry. I just saw it there. I'm like, damn it, I'm gonna take it to the fucking mailbox. I sent it out, so it should be there in a couple
I'm
of
just
weeks
glad
too.
it's not a perishable.
No, yeah, right. But anyway, it's good to have you on, man. How are you?
Oh man, I'm great. It's great to be here. I haven't been on a podcast with y'all in a week except for Joe. I really missed you guys. I
Yeah,
haven't seen
right.
y'all all week.
Yeah.
We had Joe on Black Spinner last night, which was a very great episode. I really enjoyed it. It was fun.
Speaking of which, wearing the Steeler
Oh
jersey,
yeah.
Joseph Staub. How you doing, man?
Doing well, doing well.
Hey
Not
Joe,
often I
I
get to
found
wear this
this in
jersey
my
this
phone.
time of year, so
Hey Joe,
Well,
I found this in my collection. I went swimming for it.
oh
It's
nice.
it's Camel Rain Dances. I
Oh
think I've
nice. That's
only heard it a couple of times. That's why I wasn't familiar. I was all like, I know I've got a camel somewhere. I
yeah,
checked the
that's right
backyard; it
around
wasn't
that
there.
like
So, huh?
that's right around like late 70s, I think, that
Yeah,
one.
it was like 77 or 78, I think.
Yeah.
But it was part of their classic period.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited to hear this because I heard Snow Goose on the way to work.
We
Nice.
lost Mark.
he's always back and forth. He always loses them a couple of times.
I've never seen him leave before. Oh man. All right. Well, I guess we introduced everybody because Mark took
Yeah,
off. Let me ask it, man. Keep talking, Jerry.
yeah. So, what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna talk about our favorite Super Bowls. I have to admit, I've only done ones that I've seen in my lifetime, even though I heard there have been legendary ones before, you know, my time. But I watched the highlights that were pretty good games. I have one that when I was little, but I still remember parts of it. But there's been a lot of great games and a lot of stinkers. I mean, uh, there was the awesome NFC run from like 1981 to like 1998. I think they won like 16 or 17 in a row.
Yeah, well, it was till
Um,
Elway won.
Yeah, that'll probably be on a couple of our lists that game. But anyway, Mark Dolly's back. Oh, that's why the camera went off. He's wearing a Giants shirt. That's
Yeah.
why.
Oh man.
Scared the camera. But I do like that background, man. So fuck the Chiefs. Um, I
Let's
got
face
to I
it.
got to go for the Eagles, man. I
This
cannot
is
cheer. No, I got to go
this
for the Chiefs. I go for the Chiefs. I cannot cheer for the Eagles.
is that Harry
So
Carson?
Harry Carson, yes.
he
Yay.
was he was a great linebacker,
Yeah,
man.
Yeah, but
the number
Debo's
one.
going for the Eagles. He's wearing AJ Brown's jersey.
Yeah, I cannot go for the fucking Eagles. I'm sorry. Nope.
And
And no
and
way.
George Kittle ain't watching it. He'd rather watch paint dry. So,
Yeah.
and Christian says, "I hope both of them lose." So there you go.
Sounds like sore losers to me.
Yep,
No,
big time. I'm sour. I'm still bitter. I'm bitter as fuck. Yes, I am.
Yeah, but thing is that how can those football players not watch the Super Bowl? Come on, man.
I'm sure they are. There's a lot of it's
Of
just
course
talk.
they are. I
George
mean,
cut his
that's their
hair, man.
livelihood. That's their life. How can they
Yeah.
not?
They'll
They'll
watch it.
probably, I mean, they'll probably be there. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Some of them will.
Well, Debo's
Um,
there in his AJ Brown jersey. It's
yeah.
already there. Yeah.
But anyway, now we got Mark back before we lose him. How are you doing, man?
Pretty good, pretty good. Getting ready for the big game on Sunday, even though it's the Eagles Chiefs. I don't really have a dog in the fight. Saquon Barkley, maybe I should actually root for him to do well, but
I
I
can't
don't
picture you
know.
rooting for the Eagles being a Giants
Yeah,
fan, man. I can't
yeah,
picture
it's
that.
it's it's hard. Okay, so I guess I'll just be neutral. Hope for a good
Yeah.
game. But
Yeah, I
but
can't. I hate the Eagles more than I hate Dallas now. So there's no way I'm gonna, cheer for the fucking Eagles. Fuck
But
them.
but if the Cowboys win, Bushy would be so happy, and Al
Yeah.
Horta. So maybe one
Yeah.
day. We should let the Cowboys win one time. What do you say?
You should shut the
No.
fuck up. Fuck the
The
Cowboys.
Cowboys had
Fuck
their
the
time.
Cowboys. Fuck the Cowboys. Okay.
All right, Mark, what do you got for BS, dude?
Well, like I said, I'm trying to put happy birthdays in here more than fucking death days. So happy birthday to Guns N' Roses. Axl Rose just turned 63 today. So happy birthday.
63, that's crazy.
I know. Doesn't it make you feel old?
63, I remember.
We
when
are
they-
old.
Okay, but whatever.
Wow.
He's one of those guys you never thought would have gotten to that age.
Right?
Right.
the way he
Anybody in
lived.
that band. Anybody
Yeah.
in that band, actually.
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they're all still around, honestly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they are still there. Nobody from Guns N' Roses has died.
No,
This is
Well, Adler's
one of
almost
their
died a
birthdays.
couple times.
I'll be seeing Adler in a couple months again.
Nice.
I've seen him once with Adler's band. He was pretty good. He's got a pretty good frontman.
Yeah. Oh yeah, his frontman's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, he is.
Okay, man. And then we get to let's see what do I got. It's in small writing.
Do-
I almost
you-
fell out of my chair and spit out my fucking protein shake when I read this. Nikki Sick says fans should give Generation Swine another chance. What do you think about that, Jerry?
Oh, why not, Nikki? I love hearing you talk. I'll give it another try, dude, just for you, dude, because you're so awesome, man. Fuck that album. No, absolutely not.
I like 2 songs
No.
off of it, but what do you think?
Actually,
about-
I can say pretty much anything past Shout of the Devil, I won't fucking ever listen to again. Maybe a few songs off Theater of Pain, but that's it, man.
Oh, I got
Even 94.
I do like the 94 album, but do I crave to listen to it? Nah.
Nah, same
Well,
here.
I think the worst out of the first 4 is Girls, Girls, Girls.
Yeah.
I'll
And-
agree with you on that.
And
Easily.
I still like most of it. But
Mhm.
and I do like 94, and I do like New Tattoo, and I do like the LA one. I forgot the name of that one.
Saints of Los
Saints of
Angeles.
Los
Saints of
Angeles.
Los Angeles. I do like Saints of Los Angeles.
Awful
I do
album.
Like that album.
Oh, I
I like-
love that. The Whiskey. I love that song.
Ugh.
Yeah, me too. I like the autobiography feel of Saints of Los Angeles. I thought 94 was just miserable.
Here's my thing. I think Saints of Los Angeles sounds even more fake than when they were trying to be grunge and alt, because it's them trying to be what they used to be and they cannot do it. That's how I feel on Saints of Los Angeles. But I'll be the odd man out here. I love Generation Swine. I think it's a great album. I think Brandon and Rocket Ship give that album a really bad reputation.
That's all you need to do to have it make it bad. Is to have those fucking,
but that's
especially
literally
Brandon.
2 of the 14 songs on the album. That and okay, Shout 97 is atrocious. I think
Oh
that's
my
one of the
God.
worst.
Oh, that's
things
the worst
they
song I've ever heard.
That's
Yeah.
one of the worst things they ever did.
And they
But
put it on the
actual
greatest hits.
the original songs on that album, I think, are great. Afraid,
Afraid is good.
Confessions, Glitter. I love a lot of that stuff.
I like Glitter and Afraid. I think
Afraid's a good song.
Yeah.
Afraid's one of the best singles they did after the 80s.
Yeah, it is.
So what about you, Mark? What do you think about Generation Swine?
Yeah, it was. I was excited to see Vince back in the band, but overall, it was just an okay album. Like I said, you guys mentioned Glitter and Afraid. 2 of the songs I like. That's pretty much it. Don't mind me going back to the birthday thing, but Alice Cooper, a couple days ago, he turned 77, so that was a big
Nice.
birthday too.
Damn, 77.
Yep.
And he's still ripping it up on
Dude, he
stage.
feels great in concert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I saw a
And
bumper
he's,
sticker
and he's
that
still
said,
and he's still volunteers at soup kitchens.
Oh yeah, just a legitimately good dude.
Yeah,
I
he
think
is.
so too.
I saw a
I
bumper
hear-
sticker at work today said Alice Cooper for president. I go, I could go for that.
Well, that was one of the he did a whole kind of merch campaign last year
Yeah.
of Alice Cooper for president.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we
Oh,
should get Dr.
yeah.
Fuck for president. He'll bring music back, but he'll cut out a lot of shit I like. He'll kill Sammy Hagar. No, that's Ian. But
Yeah, no,
no, he'll get rid of Sammy. He'll
Ralph would
ban
kill Sammy Hagar. Ian kills Sammy Hagar fans. That's
And
the
he
difference.
would bring back Man of War.
That's
I want
true.
to live. I want to live.
Man of whore. Fuck, that fucking mofo group is pissing me off. It's just so man of war.
Anyway,
All right, but let's get to something that Mark brought up. You know, maybe I was kind of discounting him because he wanted to go, well, let's talk about the nominees for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame this year. I go, there ain't no nominees yet, but we could talk about, because I was listening to Eddie Trunk. One of the best interviews I heard with Tommy Shaw and Lawrence Gowan, by the way, on his podcast, really cool. I learned a lot of good shit about Styx, and one person asked him, "Why don't you do Man of Miracles? You know, we got everything so far ahead. Those are some good songs, and yeah, we have to work it up and get in the studio and practice those because we never played them." And he says, "Those are great songs. Maybe one day we might throw in one of them." And then they talk, but they are one of the biggest rock and roll Hall of Fame snubs of all time right now. Them, Boston are one of the big Hall of Fame snubs. You get the Sex Pistols in there on one album, you can't get Boston in for three and Styx in for all the '70s shit they did. What the
I
fuck's
mean,
wrong with it?
it's we've all known it forever. That's just a big blind spot for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is all that like corporate rock, which is hilarious considering that that was what they were accused of back then, was like basically being shills for like the big companies and stuff. And then now all these like big things won't let them in. And I mean, it's whatever. I'll go down again saying it. I couldn't give a shit less about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It's a great building. I love seeing the artifacts. I don't really care about what they think is cool. I mean, everybody likes what everybody likes. I think if you have to like feel some kind of like if you have to feel some kind of like acceptance from this large majority of people who like clearly we know from the past don't like this kind of music, then that's your thing. I know that a couple people on this Zoom call right now like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I just have never really cared what they think because I come into it knowing that they do not like the same kind of music that I like. And it is what it is.
Tommy Shaw says they think about it for like 30 seconds. Hey, we didn't
Yeah.
get nominated. Okay, and they move on. He says,
Yeah.
and it's funny, I think Lawrence Gowan said this. He goes, it's funny how we got a lot of like Rock and Roll Hall of Fame people who've been inducted open for us.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was about to say. There's Styx is certainly selling a lot more tickets every year than a lot of bands that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So
He says these bands, most of these like Cheap Tricks open for them.
Foreigner for
Foreigners
the
open
last
for
30
them.
years.
Yeah, it's like artists. Well, RS Speedwagon's not in there. I don't think they'll ever get in there.
No.
They should though. But
I think if Styx isn't in, ROSB Wagon definitely doesn't deserve to be in.
No.
yeah, and also Tommy Shaw was talking about how they talk about Man in the Wilderness. He said he heard Kansas, like he's a Kansas concert. I want to write a song about something like that, like a story song, and Kansas inspired him. And Kansas isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. They inspire everybody too. What about you, Jerry? What do you think about this shit?
Well, first of all, they'll never do Man of Miracles. I mean, the only Wood and Nickel song they do is Lady. Even that's the '95 version they do. So I wouldn't count on any of those songs ever being played.
Unless
You
it's
know
at like a
what?
special show or something like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, like I said, I agree with Joseph about the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It doesn't bug me either way if a band gets in or it doesn't get in. Like I said, I said this a million times. The only reason I watch is maybe you get to see some of these guys reunite and do a song or two together. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That's why I watch it. I don't watch. I can give a fuck who goes in or out. I just don't think it's a legit institution. I really don't. Never did. You're gonna see people like Beyonce and shit get in there eventually. You know what I mean? Is that rock and roll? I mean,
Is she
if
country?
yeah. Well, I'm just saying, it's like I guarantee you, once her 25 years is up, she'll be a first year
Oh, yeah.
nomination. Guarantee it.
Oh, yeah, she
I
will be.
mean, not. I mean, for her, I'm not ragging her style. She's a pop singer. She obviously has a great fan base, but Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, yeah.
Oh, well, because they let pop people in there. I mean, Janet Jackson's there, Michael
mean,
Jackson's there,
yeah.
Madonna. So
Call
she
it
should be in there.
Call it the
pop-
Music Hall of Fame, at least. Just don't call it rock and roll because it's not just rock and roll.
Well, most of the bands in there, the Beatles were pop. So
I mean,
Yeah, but
think
they're
about
a
it.
rock band, Mark.
Do you think?
know,
do you think?
but-
Do you think Aerosmith
Of
would
course,
be?
they're a rock band, Mark.
Do you think Aerosmith would get any nod to be in the Rap Hall of Fame just because of that thing they did with
No.
Run DMC?
No.
No.
I don't even know. I don't even know if they
There
have a
isn't
Rap Hall
one.
of Fame. That's what I'm just saying.
What
If
and,
there
about-
was-
that's why that's why all these other artists get put in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because it just has over the years become the Music Hall of Fame pretty much.
Yeah.
That's just what it has become because rock and roll is seen as such this broad
Big
kind
umbrella.
of umbrella for things.
yeah,
and
but
I
there's
mean-
there's a country Hall of Fame and there's country artists.
There
in
is.
Too far.
There is. There
But
is,
they
and that's
go
why
too
there's
far.
not. That's why there's not almost any country artists in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame other than
And
like
there's
Dolly
a
Parton.
few.
But that's just because she had such a crossover
Yeah,
thing. I'm
true.
Johnny
surprised.
Cash.
I'm surprised Garth Brooks isn't in the Rock and Roll Hall of
Oh
Fame. I'm
God, that
truly
would
Johnny
suck.
surprised. That would be awesome.
I'd rather
because
see I'd rather see Garth Brooks and Beyonce in there.
he's one of the few people that I think would actually deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall
Yeah.
of Fame, and he would take that as a great honor. But my thing is just like it's just every year that the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame exists, it loses credibility. In the first 20 or so years of the Hall of Fame, it was a perfectly serviceable Hall of Fame. They were putting the right people in, they were putting the early influences, they put the big bands they needed to early, the Beatles, Stones, all those bands, all the early influences went in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the first 20 years. After that 20 years was up, that was when it started to become clear that it was going to be who they wanted to put in. Once they put in all the people that they had to, then it was the people that they wanted to, and then it was just a matter of taste. Because at that point, if they didn't like a certain band, or if they didn't respect them, or if they didn't think that they deserved the honor of being in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, then they weren't going to put them in. So you look at what 88 I think was the first class.
Yeah,
You look
87.
at mid early to mid 2000s. That's when it really started to become clear what it was going to be. Because you see all those artists that got in the first 15 years were the ones that they had to put in. And then after that, it was, okay, I guess they're not going to put this band in. I guess they're not going to put this band in. That's when the Kiss thing started up, and the Black Sabbath thing started up, and the Rush thing and the Cheap Trick and all this stuff was only after the first 20 or so years that everyone kind of woke up and realized, oh, I guess they're not going to put these guys in. I guess they're not. It wasn't the first 15 or so years, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was viewed as this really kind of important institution. That's when all these artists would come and do. I mean, think about '04 when they had Tom Petty and Prince and Jeff Lynne and Steve Winwood and all these guys on the same stage to honor George Harrison. At that point, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame was seen as a stand-up valid institution, and it was only in the years after that, when it kind of became clear what it was going to be, that it's where we are now. There was no debates 20 years ago or 25 years ago about being snubbed from the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, because it wasn't clear yet that that was what it was going to be. But now that we're here in 2025, it's hard not to see what it is, and it's hard not to make the argument that it doesn't really matter if they're going to put them in or not, because we know what it is.
Yeah, but I'm saying I think it's changing because you got Tom Morello, you got Dave Grohl, you got all these people in there that are voting and talking to the nominating committee.
Here, Mark, I get that, but at this point, at some point, you got to say it's too late.
I don't think it's ever too late. You could always fix
I think
something.
it is, because all these bands that should have been in years ago, now they're having to crawl back to these bands when half their members are dead, or half their members aren't even playing anymore,
John Lord,
or can't go on stage and accept their nomination,
Chris
and basically
Wire.
kiss the asses of these bands that they should have been putting in 20 years ago. And it's only because they finally ousted the biggest asshole in charge of the whole thing that some of these bands are finally starting to get in. But that's the sad part, is it's too little too late. When you have a Hall of Fame, as much as I love a band like ABBA, there's no reason that a band like ABBA should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, much less before Styx. Or they were in before Kiss was. They were in before Cheap Trick was. They were in before Rush was. There is no world where something like that should exist. And so now, all these years later, they're basically, no matter who's in charge of it now, they're having to come crawling to all these bands saying, okay, we'll finally let you in our club now. We'll finally let you in our club when half your members are dead, or half your members can't play on stage anymore.
Yeah. What do you think
Actually,
about?
when did Beyonce come out? Isn't she eligible?
Well, it depends.
Soon.
Destiny's
first-
Child, I know,
Destiny's
came out
Child.
in the 90s.
If they're counting her solo career, I think 03, so she has a couple more years.
Close though, yeah.
All right,
She'd
Interesting
probably
to see.
it would be 2030-ish.
all right, Mark.
It's what, 25 years?
Yeah.
Mark, your thoughts, man. This is your topic.
Well, I'm basically on this board with this, that basically the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is not really just one genre of music. They're incorporating everything, and typically they'll nominate one heavier band, like heavy metal rock band. Like last year was Iron Maiden, the previous year was Judas Priest, and as you've seen, like Motorhead got nominated. So, but my prediction this year will be just more of the same. They'll probably like nominate one rock band and just to garner some interest. And actually, last year was Ozzy, and I pretty much knew he was going to get him because uh, basically it was just like a good way to promote him and get him out the public eye out again. And this kind of led to the Black Sabbath reunion. But in closing, I would say I looked this up today. There are 4 acts that are notable that are up for nomination this year. They're all new ones. Three Doors Down, Linkin Park, Disturbed, and Pink.
Off Lord, what the hell? Sorry,
I like
Pink will get in.
Three
Pink will
Doors
get in.
Down is amazing. I
Three
fucking
Doors
love that
Down
band.
is a good band. They're not amazing, Mark.
Well, they
Three Doors Down is a good band that should never be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, I agree with that. It's like
None of
Cruz
honestly,
should never be in the Rock and Roll Hall of
of
Fame.
all those artists, the only one I think that even remotely could possibly deserve to be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is Pink.
Pink. Did you see her amazing version of Going to California?
No, she didn't do Going to California.
She did Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You. That was the Black Crowes doing that.
Yes, with Slash. That was amazing.
So what did you think about Pink's doing Babe, I'm Gonna Leave You though?
Oh, I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was great.
And the show was really good.
She is phenomenal. I think she's one of the greatest artists to come out of the last like 3 decades. I think her stage show is so much fun. I know people that are not pop music fans in the slightest that love going to see Pink because I think she just puts on an amazing show.
She is a cool.
Whatever you say about
chick.
her music,
she's a cool.
I wouldn't put her, but she's not Hall of Fame worthy.
No,
in my opinion, none of those are.
Well, let's move on. Did everybody talk about the Hall of Fame?
Yep.
Everybody got their shit in. Let's talk about Valerie Bertinelli. Admits she doesn't remember anything about the 80s. The actress and Drew Barrymore also bonded over their past behaviors on a talk show, calling herself an after-school special. What do you think about that, Jerry?
I'm sure a lot of people don't remember the 80s, man.
I do.
I don't remember half of it. Fuck, man. I mean,
I was a good boy in the 80s.
I get blurs sometimes from some of the shit. I just imagine the shit that she's probably got to experience and witness in her life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That were just incredible and fast living, man. Sometimes you just forget about shit, dude. I mean, and she's getting older now, so she probably doesn't want to remember half of it. So, that's probably why. So, but other than that, okay.
What about you, Mark?
You know what's funny about Valerie Bertinelli? I remember I saw clips of her in the 80s and she looked pretty elusive, actually. I remember there was that video of Van Halen at the Donington Festival, and I saw her backstage a few times, and she looked like she knew what was going on. Honestly, I think she was a little over-embellishing just slightly to be part of that rock lifestyle. That's my honest opinion.
What about you, Joseph?
I like her cooking show.
Mm-hmm. It got canceled. What do you think
about
that?
Did it really?
Joseph? Yeah,
Did it really?
Canceled. Yeah.
Oh, wow, that sucks. It's still on. Must be repeats.
Must be. A lot of those things are. Yeah, I mean, like Jerry said, I don't think a lot of people remember the 80s. One of my favorite quotes, I have a DVD of when Garth Brooks did his Vegas residency, and it was kind of like a storyteller kind of thing, where he was doing like little clips of songs between telling stories. And my favorite quote that he said was that he was kind of going chronologically, and he said, "Congratulations, you survived the 60s. Not many people survived the 60s. Even people that survived the 60s didn't survive the 60s."
Right.
But 80s, honestly, the same thing, because that was the whole new generation of sex, drugs, and rock and roll.
Total excess, man.
Yeah. And honestly, I'm sure if you sit a lot of these artists down that we talk about on our shows, and you ask them like questions, like very specific questions about things they were doing in the 80s, I'm sure most of them probably wouldn't remember.
Alice Cooper? Blackout period.
It's funny you mentioned Duff McKagan. He said if he wouldn't have quit drinking after he's 30, he probably would have been dead. He wouldn't have made it. Yeah. So I mean, they lived hard, man, back there. They did, man. And everybody wanted to be that. I did, So
I didn't do it till I was 21, and that was the 90s.
I'm just glad I didn't get involved like heroin.
I was a good boy.
I mean, heroin was all
but
around.
we're talking about stars, Mark, not just everyday people.
Well, Jerry said he was blacked out in the 80s, so.
Oh, dude, I was fucking partying all the time. But I didn't do like heroin and shit. I did a lot of pot. I did a couple lines of coke, but I drank like a motherfucker. That was
I didn't do pot till 21.
But I was never And I mean, I drank almost every day for a while. I never was. I know it seems like I drank every day. I'm not an addict, but I could. I was never addicted. I can quit at any time, and I did when I needed to. So I was fortunate, I guess. So yeah. But the times I do remember were great though. So I'll cherish those. But I know some of them I think I do want to forget. But yeah, it was a hell of a good time, man. In the
Don't
80s.
forget me. I hate
And
that
speaking
song.
of that,
But
none of those bands are going. None of our hair bands are going to get into Hall of Fame. Speaking of which,
I think Poison will get in.
I don't think
No.
so.
I think Poison. I'll bet you guys right now they will get in.
Oh,
I will
Of
bet
all
you
of
right
them,
now, they will not get in.
They will get in
Why, Mark?
because
They're one of
they're
your
fun.
favorites.
Yes.
I mean, is Bon Jovi in?
no.
Yes. Bon Jovi
Are
was in
they?
a long time ago.
Oh yeah, they were.
Motley Crue?
No, not Motley
Yeah.
Crue.
Okay, so just Bon Jovi is basically the only
But
hair
Motley
band.
Crue was like they're like if you go to the Rock and Roll Fame, they're the top vote getter of the fans trying to
Right,
get them
yeah.
in. So
Yeah, that like every year they're the top vote getter. I think.
yeah. What about you on Valerie Bertinelli, Andy?
I don't think Valerie Bertinelli was embellishing at all. She was a Hollywood starlet in the 80s with One Day at a Time. She made a couple of movies and then she married Eddie Van Halen. Dude, that chick partied it up.
Yeah.
Because we saw a couple of clips that she didn't do. We don't know their private lives.
Yeah, I don't think that she
was in
was.
the middle
Yeah,
of it all.
you can't be fucking hanging out in Van Halen all the time and just be the sober one. Sorry,
Yeah.
she had to live
And
it
she
up a
was
little
already a
bit.
party animal before she met Eddie Van Halen. Because she was already a Hollywood star
Yeah.
who
All
got
right.
whatever she wanted at any time. So yeah, I believe that. And we all know about what's her name partying up when she was a kid. I mean, she
Yeah,
burned
Drew
out.
Barrymore.
Well,
Barrymore?
Drew Barrymore.
I only really say that because there was times that Valerie was really on Edward's case to get clean, especially when she was trying to get pregnant, and
Yeah.
so that was like, but that might have been late '80s for sure. Maybe
That was the
but-
90s, like late 80s, 90s.
Well, Wolfgang was born 1991.
Well,
so-
I'm
There
not
you
saying
go.
that she didn't want it. She didn't quit it after a while, but
Hmm.
I don't believe that she didn't party or anything like that, hanging around.
Well,
Van
I want to
Halen.
say she never partied, but I don't think she partied as hard as the guys. That's all.
I think I think she was party hardy. To be
Let's-
honest.
Let's get into a fucking story that I thought was fucking funny as fuck. In California, these two auto thieves, they stole a fucking like Volkswagen. And the guy who had the Volkswagen had his AirPods in the Volkswagen, and they tracked the motherfuckers and got them with the AirPods. What do you think about that, Jerry? Stupid
They can
criminals.
track with fucking AirPods. I
Yeah,
never
you
knew
got
that.
the
It's an Apple device.
I have the AirPods. But I
Yeah,
never
they could
thought
track.
about-
You could track your. Where's my device?
Any Bluetooth device like that, you can.
Oh, cool.
They
I never
found
really
him.
thought about that.
They found him in a parking lot, getting ready to go
Oh, good.
rob a store.
Good, man. I mean, it's like what do they call that in the 90s? Low jacking or something like that. What they call that? Yeah, I mean, but good. I mean, I'm glad they caught him. Fuck people who steal, man.
I know, but I thought that was funny. Man. What about you, Mark?
I didn't even hear about this story, but I did see Joe Burrow, the Bengals. His house was robbed,
Yeah.
Yeah,
but they caught all the guys though, which is good.
it was Colombians, right? A bunch of Colombians
Yeah, so-
stealing shit. But what do you think about that, Joseph? They got low jacked.
Yeah, I mean it's funny just because of how stupid it is. Like
Yeah.
people's stupidity is funny, but I mean it's just one of those things where it's like, I mean shit like that probably happens every day if we're being honest. So
Yeah.
You know what the coolest show in the world was Bait Car. You guys ever watch that?
mhm.
Yeah.
They would actually police would put up
Yeah.
bait cars. They have cameras all over. People would steal the
Cameras
cars.
in the cars.
Yeah, that was so cool because they could turn the car off and shit and lock the doors where they can't get out.
They would disable it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool show. They're like all celebrating. Yeah, man. We
Well,
got
didn't
all
they have a
this
show
money.
called World's Stupidest Criminals?
Mhm.
They still do. I think it's still. I'm sure there's. Yeah, because it had like the B list celebrity from hell being the people on that one. Leaf Garrett or not Leaf Garrett. Yeah, Leaf.
And they had like Todd Bridges
Yeah,
and Danny Buttigieg.
Danny
Red
Buttafuoco.
guy.
Yeah.
They had
Oh, man.
people like that talk about him.
B
Tequila.
list from hell. There. Yeah.
So what do you think about those
Tequila,
guys getting caught with AirPods?
Who, me?
Andy, yeah, you.
No, I'm glad they caught him.
All right. But let's get to something that just came out this week. Ozzy and Sabbath are doing one final show. I just got to put this in there. Sammy Hagar is playing it, fuckers. So what do you think about that, Jerry?
I mean, okay. I mean, I guess it's cool that they want to go out, at least officially
He
go out
can't
as a
even
band,
walk.
I guess. They'll put him on a cool ass chair, and it'll be, as long as his voice is all right, I think it'll be okay. I mean, if it's just one show to say goodbye to the fans, I don't have a problem with that. So
Metallica, everybody's there. They
Yeah.
said the coolest people in metal, and then I see Wolfgang and Sammy playing. I go, that's funny. Some people's
Can't all be
heads are gonna
winners.
explode. Huh?
they can't all be winners, man.
Shut the fuck up. What do you think about that, Mark?
It should be a pretty good show because it's got a great bill. You got like Slash is going to be there, Rudy Sarzo, Mike Borden. I see they invited a few former Ozzy Osbourne band members, so
Not Bob
maybe
Daisley, though.
yeah, not
Well,
Bob
yeah,
Daisley.
I was gonna put that in there. Bob
Yeah.
Daisley said he doesn't care.
It would be nice. It would be
He's-
great if
yeah,
even more
no.
of them showed up. Like maybe get Jakey Lee to come and jam
Yeah.
at some.
He's gonna be there.
That
He's
would be
gonna be
fun.
there.
Jakey Lee's going to be there.
Okay, great.
Zach could possibly show up. Probably.
Zach's definitely
He
going to
does.
be there.
Yeah, he
Oh,
does
yeah,
Black
I think
Sabbath
Zach
stuff,
would be
and he was with Ozzy. So
Yeah,
and they're
Zach's
including
definitely
Bill
gonna
Ward
be
in
there.
it. So that's more legitimate. I mean, they added
Oh,
Bill
yeah,
Ward
but
back in the
I
mix,
feel
so.
like it's going to be his last touring lineup that does most of the songs with his solo stuff. So it's going to be Zach and
Right.
Tommy Klustfos and oh god, what's his name on bass?
Mike Innes.
No, that was touring with him last time. It was
I don't know.
I think he was with I don't know, but I think he ended up back with Rob Zombie or something like that. But and then Adam Wakeman on keyboards. So that's probably who's going to be playing with him. And then when Sabbath comes out, but I have a feeling that Jake's probably at least going to come out and do like Bark at the Moon or something like that.
Yeah, I would like to see a rotation of the who's who that played with him be a part of it.
Well,
I think
unfortunately, not many of them are left.
Yeah, but that would be so cool.
Well, Bob
Do a,
Daisley
tri-
says he
do a
doesn't want
tribute
to
to
be there.
Randy. Do a tribute to Randy.
Mhm.
I'm sure
But
he
you
will.
saw
He'll
what Bob
probably say
Daisley
something.
said. He wasn't invited, and he wouldn't want to
Right.
be a part of it.
Well, boo hoo.
No. Yeah.
It's still going to go on without him.
I'd love to see them reunite the Speak of the Devil lineup with Brad Gillis,
Oh,
Rudy
that'd be
Sarzo,
awesome.
and Tommy
Yeah.
Aldridge.
Yeah, Brad Gillis, I think, would be there.
I thought Bark of the Moon was Apathy, wasn't it?
No, it was what's his name from
Was it Tommy Aldridge?
Yeah,
Tommy Aldridge.
yeah. It was
Oh.
it was Jakey Lee, Bob Daisley, Tommy Aldridge. I can pull the CD out.
No, that's all right. I remember the
No,
video.
no,
I
I'm-
could've sworn-
I'm not
I
even
remember the
sure.
video for Bark of the Moon. I could have sworn that.
Well,
was
I don't even know why I would
Apathy
pull the CD out because Ozzy Osbourne's album credits are never quite.
Yeah.
I was just about to say that to you.
No, Tommy Aldridge is credited
Okay.
on the CD.
Yeah, all right.
but I know that he was doing all
left
the tours around that time, and then I guess was Randy Castillo. Did he join?
He was on
Did he-
Ultimate Sin, wasn't he?
Was he on Ultimate Sin?
Ultimate Sin, I think. Or
And then,
wasn't he on
then,
Bark of the Moon? I don't remember.
Who?
Randy
Randy
Castillo was
Castillo?
on. Randy Castillo was on Ultimate Sin.
I know he was on No Rest for the Wicked. I don't know if he was on
Yeah,
Ultimate Sin or
I think he
not.
was on Ultimate Sin.
Who was on No More Tears?
Randy Castillo.
Randy Castillo.
Yeah, right. That's what I thought. Okay.
All right, man. Let's get to one more thing, man. Cracker
Yeah,
Barrel.
Randy Castillo was on Ultimate Sin.
It was Carmen Apathy in the video. That's where I got confused.
Oh, okay.
Well, Whitesnake didn't have John Sykes in the video for the '87 album, so.
Mhm. Yeah, it was
But,
Randy Campbell.
Cracker Barrel calls out Waffle House for having a surcharge for eggs. Any thoughts on that?
I have some thoughts because I was at Cracker Barrel a couple of weeks ago and they've raised their prices.
$10.99 here for a dozen.
Oh yeah, it's bad. But
Yeah.
Cracker Barrel was always a fairly decently priced restaurant for like entrees and
Right.
stuff. They have raised their prices recently on all their entrees, not just like eggs and stuff, but like on all their entrees, they raised the prices.
I know why I'm watching cooking shows.
Yeah,
Fucking cheaper to cook.
Yeah, dude.
it depends what you're cooking.
I cooked a
that's
pot
true,
of
too.
spaghetti on Sunday. I ate it Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Today I went to McDonald's, but I still have 2 more days of the spaghetti.
I can still get eggs for $3. I think right now they're $3.99 for an 18-pack for
Yeah,
$3.99.
Where?
at Sam's Club here,
At
you
Sam's
can,
Club, they're cheap.
they're
At
cheap at
Kroger's?
Sam's Club. Yeah,
Oh.
and at those like Sprouts and shit, they're cheap. You know, stores like that.
We were
for
actually
some-
considering buying a couple chickens. That's how fucking high they are here.
Well, you might get the bird flu there, but I had one last story because Kiss nerds on here. Gene Simmons hints at his solo band might do songs that Kiss never played. What do you guys think about that?
I hate when they say might. Are you gonna do
Yeah.
them or not? I know you want to probably surprise. We can't surprise your set list anymore nowadays. So
No.
just admit that where you're gonna play. I think Gene Simmons' solo band is awesome. I would go and see them if they came around. I'd definitely go see that before anything else with Kiss related.
Mm-hmm.
Not Ace, not Paul, but he's done shit like Charisma and shit like that live with his solo
But
band.
and unfortunately, that was what I was going to bring up was, if he was doing that stuff, I would go see him live. But unfortunately, the most recent set list that has been doing is like the hits and some really weird covers, like Gene Simmons doing Ace of Spades. What?
Yeah, it was basically the set list from Kiss. A lot of it was with a couple of extra, snippets in there of good music, good tune of not good tune, but deep cuts.
Yeah.
So and I wasn't. Who wants to see
I
Gene
don't
Simmons?
think he did any deep cuts on his last tour, and I was like a little pissed off about it.
Who wants to see Gene Simmons band do "I Was Made for Loving You"? Come on, man.
He's gonna do
especially when everyone knows that Gene hates that song.
Exactly.
He's gonna do "I."
Yeah.
Hey, I would.
That's my least favorite. That's
I.
my least favorite song on that album.
About a
Do
boy.
fucking War Without Hero.
Just a boy.
Just
World
a boy.
Without
Whatever it
Heroes.
is.
That's a Paul song. I'd love to see him do World Without Heroes.
Yeah. Yeah, but that song that Paul sang, that the one we were just talking about, man, he was doing the worst Roger Daltrey impersonation on that track. God, it was horrible.
Oh, yeah.
All right, man.
I like music from the older. It's different.
You have any thoughts about that, Mark? About Gene Simmons pulling out some D tracks?
Pull out. If you're gonna do some D tracks, pull that log out of the fireplace and do "Burn, Bitch, Burn."
I'm fine,
But
thanks.
make sure you do the woo woo woo. Don't skip that.
Bring Almost Human back in that set list. Man.
Do Almost Human. Do like For the Innocent. Do Young and Wasted.
Plaster
Young
Caster.
and Wasted rules. I love that
How
song.
about Plaster Caster?
I don't like that.
I love when they did it on Unplugged.
Just don't bring great expectations, but you can leave that one in the fucking.
Don't do any Stool Station either.
Rock and Roll Hell.
Yeah.
I love Rock and Roll Hell.
Yeah.
Any of that creature stuff, honestly. Saint and Sinner, Killer.
Well, do
No Unmasked, no Elder, no Unmasked, no.
Oh no, he can do Naked City. I'd love to see him do Naked City. That's a great track.
Yuck. All right, Jerry, you want to do the countdown, Rich?
Yeah, I'll do it, man.
All right.
All right, well, let's get it started here. Our top 11 Super Bowls, our personal favorites, our personal favorites.
Yeah.
So we'll start with number 11. Let's start with Andy. What do you got, man?
All right, the way that I did my list, I'm going to go in chronological order of when I watched them. So if this is going to be a little history into how I fell in love with the sport of football. So I am going to talk about the first Super Bowl that I remember watching not on my own, but, I went and I was excited about the Super Bowl, and I sat down and I watched it. I'm not talking about Super Bowl 17, which was the Redskins over the Dolphins, 27-17, with John Williams, Joe Theismann, Art Monk, and they were in the middle of that offensive line, the Hogs. Yeah, man. You see, back then I was a Dallas Cowboy fan, so I would watch the Redskins a lot because they were always on CBS, because that's where they would play the NFC was on CBS. So I would watch a lot of their games, man. And when they won the Super Bowl, I thought it was one of the best games I ever saw.
Who was their fullback?
John Regans.
That guy's a motherfucker.
Yeah. Yeah.
The Raiders had Marcus Allen. I mean, that was a good team.
Yep.
He's not talking about the Raiders.
But this was the Dolphin team that they beat.
The Dolphins.
Oh, okay. I thought you
It,
said the Raiders. I'm
He
sorry.
said the
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
That's a
it,
different Super Bowl.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
also
Super Bowl.
it also was a strike shortened season, so
Yeah,
they expanded the playoffs too.
yeah, it was. But the thing is that the thing that was big for Washington was that they were not a very well known run team. That game, out of nowhere, they ran all over them. I mean, their gain of yards during the regular season was almost minimal. In the Super Bowl, they ran for over 200 yards. They're like,
Did,
"What the hell is this?"
Joe Gibbs won 3 Super Bowls with 3 different quarterbacks.
Yeah. Oh, the Redskins had the fun bunch too. Remember they did that silly dance in
Yeah.
the end zone?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
The Smurf. I think one of them was called with the Smurfs. He was the smallest receiver.
the Smurfs with Clark. Remember that little dude Clark?
Yeah.
What was his
And
first name?
Art Monk was the receiver too. Yeah.
Yeah, Monk. But they had that little dude too. His last name was Clark. That
Yeah.
was during that time.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
the fans
but
that wear the pig noses.
Yeah, the pig
The
noses.
Hogs. Yeah.
The hog, man.
Well, the Dolphins had the killer bees.
Yeah.
That's what I like about football. They had these cool nicknames, but that defense for the Dolphins was solid. Killer bees. Everybody seemed to have like a last name of B, like Baumhauer, the Blackwoods.
Yeah.
What are the odds of two brothers actually being in the same starting defensive backfield? That's kind of probably never happened before. That as far as I can remember.
Not that I can remember, but that's my start off.
And they were both good. They were both good too. That's a good Super Bowl. Sorry, Andy. Go ahead.
Oh no, I'm done.
All right, Joe, what do you got?
All right, so it was hard making this list because there's a lot of like years where it's like some of the greatest teams of all time. The game was awful. Like the 85 Bears. That Super Bowl was awful. Like it was just a blowout. Actually, a lot of those games in the 80s were blowouts.
Right.
Yeah. And then you have like ones where it was like underwhelming games or like boring kind of games or games where I just got really pissed off about who won. So like I'm not putting any of those on my list. And my number 11 is one that like it was a great game until the last few minutes, and then that's all anyone could talk about.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about the one from 2 years ago.
Esther, yeah. Where are you?
Mark
Esther, where are you?
Bengals Rams.
No, that game's not on the list. I hate that game. That one was really boring. No, the Eagles and Chiefs. Because it was a really, really good game up until the last like minute when the flag came out.
The phantom holding call.
The phantom holding call. That I mean, I still think the Chiefs would have won regardless. I don't think the Eagles would have been able to get it back down the field. But I think that was all that anyone could talk about and really ruined a great game because it was a really great back and forth game for most of the game. It was a decently high scoring game.
Yeah.
So that was my number 11. It was a great game until the last minute.
Yeah. All right, Mark Dolly.
Well, he's like, I muted him because he was like doing some weird shit and he's not there.
All right, Mark, what do you got?
Here he comes.
Mark, here he comes.
All right.
Unmute yourself, Mark. I muted you because you were like,
number 11, Mark.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. My number 11. I picked a sleeper Super Bowl. You guys probably forgot about this one. Patriots versus Panthers, Super Bowl 38. Very exciting game. Lots of big plays. Panthers hit some long passes. I remember very forgettable quarterback Jake Delhomme hit a big play to Muhammad. It went down to the last minute. Unfortunately, Panthers tied the score 29-29. Immediately kicked the ball off out of bounds, put the ball at the 40, and Tom Brady took care of business from there. Game-winning field goal again, Adam Vinatieri, even though he had a bad game. I think he was 0 for 2 up to that point, but he nailed the game winner. And Patriots had an interesting it was a pass to a tackle, Mike Vrabel. I think that was the first touchdown pass to an offensive lineman. So, but a bit of a sleeper game. People kind of forget about this one. Patriots-Panthers. Patriots win Super Bowl number 2.
Was that the Janet Jackson game?
Yes.
It was right. That was the
Yeah.
first one in Houston.
I saw
When
boobs.
they had
Right.
came back to Houston, and that was the first one at a Reliant. I remember that game. That was a good game.
Yep.
Yep.
I think they played the game. They closed the roof, which is a bad idea because defenses were spent by the fourth quarter. So it was basically back and forth on offense. Like defense had no gas at all.
Oh
Which
well,
that was.
closed.
I
It's
thought
very
they
rare.
opened the roof sometimes, but for that game
Very
they
rare. It might be one game a year, if that.
okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they were they. I remember Jim Nance was saying how the roof was closed and he pretty much could see that the defense they were done. Nobody could stop anybody by the end of the game.
Yeah. That roof, just like for baseball, it's
Mhm.
always closed, except if it's like 70 degrees outside. It's never 70 degrees outside in Houston, so you can forget about that.
Right.
All right.
But pretty good game.
Yeah. All right, Mark, what do you got?
I
Mark
don't think anybody.
AT.
I don't think anybody would think I'd pick this Super Bowl, but it pissed me off so much, and it was a good game up to the end. There was a blackout in the fucking game.
49ers
New Orleans.
Ravens.
49ers
New Orleans.
versus Baltimore.
The last New
34,
Orleans game.
34 to 31, which there was a fucking pass interference call that they didn't call on Michael Crabtree at the end.
Hey,
Yeah,
all
but
three- all-
grabbed.
Mark, you were
all-
lucky
all-
to even be in
all
the
three-
game by
all-
the end.
All three
Dude,
49er
we
games
only
were
lost. They
rigged.
only lost by 3, dude.
Yeah,
And
but
what was the score earlier in the half?
They came back, dude. They came back. That was a great fucking Super Bowl.
It was
Kaepernick
a
was
good game.
awesome in that fucking game.
It was a good game.
And the thing is, he was grabbed, Scott Stein. Fuck you, Scott Stein. I love you, Scott Stein, but
All
fuck you.
49er, every 49er losses have been rigged. It's been bought and paid for. I'm just kidding. But yeah, that was a disappointing game because we were 5-0 before that. You know what I mean? Now we're 5-3. Yay!
Yeah, because of fucking
Yeah.
Kansas City cheating.
Yeah,
fuck them.
don't go to the Super
course.
Bowl
What are you talking about?
if the Chiefs
Yeah,
are
they
there.
didn't get one holding call on Bosa the
Holding
last 2
call.
Super
Oh my
Bowls.
god, dude!
He
That
was
is-
fucking chokehold. Look at the video. Go roll the tape back.
Roll the
holding
tape.
call was coming
The
close,
tape.
bro.
The tape.
Roll the tape.
See, Mark. At least I can admit both times the Steelers lost the Super Bowl, it was 100% our fault.
Well, yeah, because you had the one guy throwing interceptions to a no.
I will go to my dying day
Neil O'Donnell
like-
sucks.
claiming that Neil
Oh,
O'Donnell
God,
got
that was
bought
his
off.
name.
That Neil O'Donnell got bought off because there's no way that
You know
he
what?
threw all those picks to nobody.
To go off topic here a little bit, you don't think with the new betting thing they have in the NFL, you don't think games could be rigged?
Oh, I think they always have been.
I mean, even more now. And I guess because betting was under the table before, now it's
Yeah.
legal. You're right.
I mean,
good
it's
point.
been proven that like the
Yeah.
mob impacted a lot of games back years and years and years ago because of like point shaving and stuff. But I mean, I think it's all human error. I don't think it's actually being rigged. I think that I think that the problem.
I'm saying
I don't-
possibility.
I don't think that it's necessarily that they're being rigged. I think the problem that the NFL has with officiating is a much bigger issue than just rigging games. I think the problem that the NFL has with officiating is that they have too much power. And that they have egos that go massively unchecked. Watch one Canadian football game. Just one. All you got to do is watch one. Every single call that is on that field is reviewable, and the refs get out of their own freaking way. The refs don't take it personally when they get a call wrong. I mean, think about the one season that the NFL allowed pass interference to be reviewed.
Yeah,
They never
that horrible
overturned it.
no call. That horrible
They-
no call in the Saints game.
They
Yeah.
never overturned anything because the refs got bitch face
Right.
on, and they didn't want. And I think it was like, didn't somebody find a document that it was like they didn't want to make the league look bad or something like that? But that's why they didn't overturn any calls, was because if they overturn calls, then it makes it look like the NFL's officials are incompetent.
Well, you don't
Right.
think
No.
you don't think some of these officials can be like
I mean, it's possible, but I
they
think
grew
I
up
think-
a Bengals fan and they give them the Bengals all the calls. No,
I think it's possible, but I think the issue just goes a lot wider than that. I think I think American sports in general have an officiating problem. And I think it's an
The
American.
NBA, I think the NBA is definitely rigged. I think hockey brings up enough revenue.
I
to
don't
be
think
rigged.
the NBA is rigged.
Oh, I
But,
do.
I mean,
They
between
would have the
umpire-
Lakers or New York win every year.
No,
the NBA was
No,
rigged.
because people hate.
It would be
those
it would be
teams.
No.
Boston, Lakers, and fucking New York.
I'm
winning
not
the
talking
championship.
about. I mean, the playoffs and championship games. Absolutely, dude. I think they are.
I think baseball's gone back to being pure.
Can
I
I?
really think that
But also, baseball last year had the worst officiating in the history of the sport.
Did they
Like
really?
the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It did.
like statistically, because they do those reports on umps after every game.
Yeah.
Statistically, it was the worst officiated year in the history of baseball.
And there's no Angel Hernandez or Joe West. How's that possible?
And they just fired a guy for gambling.
Yeah.
But
you go.
I wasn't
So-
done with something here on my pick. I just gotta say one thing. What the fuck is with the Roman numerals? I had to fucking go fucking.
We're
think
not
about
doing this, Mark. It's
No,
just,
fuck the Roman numerals.
no.
That
That's
was
always
super-
been since
Roman
the
numerals.
in the history of the game.
Because what
Back
is
to
it?
Super
Because
Bowl
it's
one, it was always been
gladiators.
Roman numerals.
Because they want to
Yes.
make it look like Roman.
Sure.
That's
I'm
exactly
just
what it was
saying,
for.
I don't, because when I'm doing this thing, I'm at work on my breaks and lunches trying to figure out what number the Super Bowl is.
Yeah.
And I
I
got to
mean,
think.
here's
I
the
know
thing,
what they
Mark,
are. I know
Mark.
what the numerals mean, but I got to take 5 minutes to think about it.
Here's the thing: nobody ever actually calls them by the number. They just say what season it happened in. The 1989 Super Bowl. Everyone knows what that is.
Well, that
Everyone
was Super
knows what
Bowl,
that is.
That was Super
The
Bowl
1989
40
Super Bowl champions is what
That
they
was
call
Super
it.
Bowl 47 with the Niners and Baltimore.
Because then also everybody gets confused. Is well, are you talking about the game that was played in 1989 or the game that was
That's
from
right.
the 1989
That's why I want
season?
the Super Bowl number. The only one that didn't have Roman numerals was the first
50. 50
well,
was
50
number the
didn't
50.
have-
It was 5-0.
Yeah.
But I always call it the season, like whatever season it was. So like
But it goes into
the
next year.
last time the Steelers won the Super Bowl was 2008, even though the game was played in 2009. Like
So-
I always go by the season because that's when almost all the games happened.
So Super Bowl 47, they want to give Ray Lewis a fucking last championship. Fuck you. All right, go ahead.
God.
All right, my first pick is Super Bowl 13, Pittsburgh over Dallas. What a great game that was, man.
Yeah.
It had great plays and it had sloppiness. I can't remember Dallas's tight end. He was wide open. There was nobody around this guy. He dropped the fucking touchdown pass. I probably wouldn't make
that
Jackie Smith. I think it was
Smith.
Jackie Smith was the guy that dropped it. I mean, he was wide open and he fucking dropped that.
The commentator call. He must be the saddest man in all of America right now.
I mean, that's got to be like a Bill Buckner moment. You know what I mean? As far as blowing it that big. But look at these stats here. Bradshaw, 318 yards, 4 touchdowns. Staubach, 228 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, it was an aerial assault that game was.
Yeah.
And I remember as a kid I remember watching it. I don't remember every play of that game, but I watched the replays of it. And man, that was a really fucking good game. I think it was 79, was it? Yeah.
78 season. Yeah.
78 season, 79 Super Bowl. Yeah. But yeah, it was a great fucking game. And Pittsburgh and Dallas had some memorable Super Bowls. So another one might show up here eventually too. Sorry, Joseph, for the next one that I picked.
I can't imagine why anyone would put that on a list of greatest Super Bowl games. That game was atrocious.
I don't have that on my list.
Please, thank God.
But all right, number 10, Andy.
Yeah, my next pick is going to be the year after. The Redskins were supposed to be building on this so-called new dynasty, so they make it to their second Super Bowl. They get blown out by the up-and-coming Raiders, 38-9.
That was a Marcus Allen game.
Yeah, that was the Marcus Allen game. The first time a Hispanic coach won a Super Bowl with
Torres.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a good coach.
I think Jim Plunkett was the quarterback or no?
He was Indian though, wasn't he? Jim
Yeah,
Plunkett.
he was in India. It was a throw off from New England.
But yeah, he was the quarterback. Yeah, I believe.
Yeah.
I might have that Super Bowl coming up.
But that was a great game. It introduced us to Marcus Allen. And if I'm not mistaken, that game was played at the Los Angeles Coliseum as well.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I remember that's when, back in the day when stadiums had these awesome names like RFK and veterans and soldiers. Now it's, whatever corporate.
Levi's.
Yeah, or,
SoFi.
Even Arrowhead is GEHA,
Mm-hmm.
and they're
MetLife Stadium.
Yeah,
it sucks. Yeah.
Shea City Field, and stuff like that. But yeah, that's going to be my pick is that game because I remember watching that game.
That's a good pick, Andy.
And that's when I, getting so involved in football.
I don't want to talk about it too much though because I heard.
Okay, but that was my pick.
Good one.
That game.
All right, so Joe.
All right, my number 10. We hinted at it a little bit earlier. The end of NFC dominance. Elway cements his legacy. Broncos Packers from '97.
Yep.
I mean,
finally breaks through.
Elway was on the career trajectory of Dan Marino.
Yeah,
always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
He'd been to what 2 or 3 before that, and never won, out. And got
blown out.
Giants, Washington, and San Francisco. I think.
Yeah. So he was on that career trajectory of never winning a Super Bowl, and then finally on an underdog run because it looked like the Packers were going to go back to back.
Yeah,
they were the what? Yeah, because and then Elway won the next year, but
Terrell Davis, man. Oof.
But and it was one of those things where, like another couple games I'm going to be talking about here in a little bit, where a quarterback who's going to get into the Hall of Fame because of 2 particular games. Elway finally won the big one there over a team that they weren't supposed to beat. Right. So, and it was a great game. So that's my number 10 is the Broncos and Packers from '97.
That's a good one.
I always root for the underdogs. And man, Elway sure was always the underdog for some reason. And when I started watching football, and I think this is why I'm not a Browns fan at all, was because I remember sitting at home watching the drive, rooting for Elway to do it. To go I think it was 99 yards or maybe around
98, 99, something like that.
Yeah. And him doing it with very little time, dude. And they weren't big bombs. They were just carving off that defense. It was amazing.
All right, Mark D.
Me?
Mark D.
Mark. Go for it. Dolly. Say his name isn't Daly. His name is Dolly. So just make sure you guys. Every other podcast gets me and Mark's name wrong. They call me Mark Allen Taylor, and they call him Mark Daly. He's Mark Dolly. Okay.
No, it's Mark Daly.
You're not Daly. You're Dolly.
Okay, my number 10. Sorry, 49ers fans, but I'm picking last year's Super Bowl. Chiefs, 49ers. Sorry about that.
A good game. I mean, you can't argue with a good game.
Very entertaining game. Chiefs didn't play all that great. Patrick Mahomes threw interception. Running game really wasn't all there. But George Kittle, what the heck? 2 receptions for 4 yards. I know he was hurt, but he had a very bad game. Also, a little FYI, 49ers, if you ever win the coin toss, defer so you know exactly what to get.
Yeah, in overtime. I mean, really? Seriously?
Yeah. So they kind of
if this was 2 years before, take the ball.
Right.
Now
they messed it up.
No, they fucked up the overtime toss.
The 49ers actually won the toss. They took the ball.
Yeah, they deferred it. I'm like,
no. They took the ball.
Did they? I thought they deferred it. Idiots.
They should have.
Something stupid.
They should have deferred it.
They kicked the field goal. Then Mahomes knew exactly what to do. Score a touchdown again. So
and Travis Kelce was allowed to attack his coach. Yeah. Okay. I remember.
That too. Yeah.
But no, I mean, what's his face, man? Would have won MVP for the 49ers if they won that game. Our receiver. God, I can't think of his name right now.
Crabtree?
No, our 3rd string receiver.
What's his name? I forgot his name.
I'm telling you, I'm losing my fucking. We got Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and is our 3rd receiver
Juwan Jennings?
Juwan Jennings. Yeah,
he would have probably won MVP.
Yeah, he would have.
He threw a touchdown.
Yeah, that was. It was disappointing, but it was a good game. You're right. So.
Yeah, but then when they would talk to the coaches of the Niners, they're we didn't know the rules. Really? How can you not know the rules?
Yeah. Mike Shanahan does not have he does not have Kyle Shanahan does not have killer instinct, man.
He doesn't. He doesn't.
Never has.
But I wouldn't want him to get fired because I like him. So,
Yeah, but why do you like him? He chokes all the time.
well, a lot of coaches choked. Marv Levy choked from 4 Super Bowls. He's still a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, well, he should have been fired before the.
So did
fourth
Jim
one.
Harbaugh. So
Yeah, I don't like the
All right.
Keep on losing.
I don't like the 49ers coach because he's got that flat brim. He's got to curve that thing. My gosh, that
they
hat
got
looks so.
Salah back. Let's see what happens this year.
Huh?
Oh yeah,
And I think he's too light on his team too. It's always good to be a coach's coach. I mean, a player's coach. I don't think he's really, what do you call it? A doghouse type of guy.
No, he's a buddy
with his
kind of
players.
guy.
And that could be bad for a team. It can be, but
Well, you don't have to.
But, I mean,
you don't want to.
they've won, but you know, like I say, he's not the killer instinct, man. That's, you know, but it continuously is gonna hurt them, I think. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway,
Hurt Atlanta, and I'm about to talk about that very, very soon of how he hurt Atlanta.
oh yeah, there you go.
That was kind of the head coach there too. So
No, he calls the offensive plays, dude.
Offensive plays, man.
He let it up. He let off the gas.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
No, he should have just ran throughout the whole second half. Run, kill that clock. No,
But that's what I mean. Is he didn't.
No, they just clocked the ball.
He does get way too conservative. Way too conservative. I agree with that.
All right, Mark Dolly, you done, man, with that?
yep, done.
All right.
Choke him out.
Marky Alden Taylor, what do you got?
Oh, Mark will be happy with this one. The freaking helmet catch. Super Bowl 42. Giants
There you
versus
go.
New England. God dang. Eli Manning, the luckiest fucking
Oh,
Super
my
Bowl
gosh, here we
winning
go.
quarterback of all time. But fuck, that was exciting to watch the guy pull the ball off his head.
The only guy that could say that owns Tom Brady.
Yeah, man. The only game 21-17, man.
Yeah.
What a fucking game. It was fucking exciting. It's like, oh, Tom Brady's got this. And all of a sudden, bam, he's got that fucking, like, I think what
helmet catch.
in
David
the
Tyree.
NFC Championship, didn't our guy muff a punt twice?
Yep.
Yeah, gave them,
Kyle
got them.
Williams.
Yeah. fuck
One of
that guy.
one of the luckiest Super Bowl runs of all time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was that their undefeated year?
How about the
Yes.
Steelers winning 4 in a row? Come on,
That wasn't lucky. They've won those
They
games.
won those
Okay,
games. Still
the
hurt,
Giants,
man.
Yeah, but what about the Colts getting ready to drive the ball in and
the Steelers fumbled it.
that's right. It was the other way around. Okay, yeah. So they got lucky, and the drunk kicker Vanderjack kicks the ball to like left field.
Yeah, I remember that. It was weird.
Yeah,
And then
and then they get lucky against the Seahawks. The Seahawks get all those bad calls.
No, we murdered the Seahawks in the Super Bowl.
Oh my gosh.
They scored 10 points.
Yeah, but all those penalties against the Seahawks, it was just so.
Because they were committing.
It was rigged.
There are penalties.
Then
You done, Mark?
maybe they should
Yeah,
have
I'm
let
done.
our
I'm
backup
done.
wide receiver throw a touchdown in the Super Bowl. I don't know.
That was Antoine Randall. I remember.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, to Hines Ward.
Yep, great play. Oh, fast Willie Parker, 80-yard touchdown run.
All right, Mike. I'm going to pick Super Bowl 39, New England over Philadelphia, 24-21. Again, it was just an offensive explosion. And say what you will about Terrell Owens. The guy had a busted ankle, could hardly even walk
I
the
remember
last
that.
couple of days.
Yeah.
Had fucking 9 receptions for 122 yards.
Ooh.
So say that guy wasn't a winner or whatever. He was. I mean, yeah, he was kind of a prima donna and a diva, but all receivers are. Name a fucking receiver that isn't. And McNabb had 357 yards, but he threw 3 bad picks, man. That cost him the game, I think. And you can't do that against Tom Brady, man. You cannot let him have chances with the fucking football, man. That's what these teams do. That's what Atlanta did with stupid fucking play calling. You can't. The best place for Tom Brady to play against him was on the fucking bench. I mean, seriously. You cannot give that guy many chances. But in all, but it was a very good game, man. It really was. Brian Westbrook, Dorsey Levens from Eagles were a good running back pair. I was happy to see Corey Dillon win a Super Bowl because he had a lot of bad years with the Bengals. So it's nice to see him Patriots win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was another really good game, man. So and like I said, man, say what you will about Terrell Owens, that game rare proved that guy was a fucking warrior, man. Absolutely. So that's my pick for number 10. Let's go with number 9, Andy.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I just want to say, Terrell Owens, great player, and he was also fun to watch. Yeah, he started shit or whatever, but man, it was fun.
I know when he grabbed the cheerleaders' pom poms and did the celebration.
Yeah, he took someone's popcorn and the guy,
the Sharpie signed the autograph.
Yeah,
signed the football.
I remember this one game when he scored. I don't know who he was playing for, but he scored a touchdown. And they were playing the Cowboys. He ran all the way to the middle, and he
I love that.
To the star. I was like, oh my God, what is this?
Yeah, that was too much.
I love that, Jerry.
Now I think
they all hit him, dude. That was awesome.
I think even though it was a stupid thing, Steve Mariucci should have at least sided with him, because it was his best receiver. He suspended him a game for that, which I thought was not good. It's just not good for a coach to not back your player, even though it was completely fucking stupid. But
dude, it was great for football, man.
It was fun.
And then after that, Emmitt Smith scored, and he went and did the same thing in the middle of the star. It was awesome. It was great. But my next one I'm going to talk about is going to be Super Bowl 20, Bears over Patriots, 46-10. Dude, there was memorabilia like crazy for this game, all over the place. Toys, the electric football game, which was a bunch of crap, but it was the Patriots and the Bears, and you would turn on this little thing because I had it, and it made the ugliest noise, and all the little men would go in different directions. You're like, what the hell's going on here? It was like the ugliest thing ever.
It takes like an hour to set up one play, and you got to this plastic arm with the quarterback. You got to throw the rubber football, and it was a mess. It was.
I just remember saying,
"Ditka,
the Bears."
Yeah, yep. It was with Mike Ditka, Refrigerator Perry, Walter Payton.
Mike Ditka regrets not giving Walter Payton that touchdown now.
And also remember that Bears defense. That Bears defense was awesome. They were so damn good that even now, when there's a good defensive unit out there, it's always compared to the 85 Bears.
Oh shit! They had Mike Singletary, Richard Dent. Who was the wrestler? The wrestler guy. Fuck, he's in really bad shape right now.
Richard Dent won in '94 with the Niners.
Mongo McMichael.
Yeah, Steve McMichael. I mean, it was a great defensive fucking line.
Also, Ron Rivera was in the linebacker corps.
Yeah,
that's
true.
What a horrible head coach, though.
Yeah, but great defensive player. Exactly. But but also the secondary was killer. Dude, that was a good team. So Bears over Patriots, 46-10, Super Bowl 20.
All right.
That was Richard Dent, defensive MVP too. That was like all domination right there.
Joe.
All right, so there's 2 entries on my list where I combined 2 games because they were within 3 or 4 years of each other between the same 2 teams, and the same team won both of them. The first one is going to get me blocked by one of the people on this Zoom call right now, and I'm talking about two of the three reasons why one of the most average statistical quarterbacks of all time is about to go in the Hall of Fame. The third one is his last name. That's the third reason that he's going in the Hall of Fame.
Are you talking about Ben Roethlisberger?
No, because I don't even think he's a first ballot.
Are you talking about Joe Namath?
No, I'm talking about Eli Manning.
Oh,
I just said that luckiest quarterback ever.
Statistically average quarterbacks to go in the Hall of Fame.
Guy started 220 straight games, tough as nails,
and he only ever had 7. And he only ever had 7 winning seasons.
Don't bring up the win-loss record. It's not his fault that his defense is off.
Okay, well, better quarterbacks carry.
Dude,
I don't tell me how Joe Namath is in the Hall of Fame. This is below par quarterback he was.
Because he was a star.
Because of the mythology of Super Bowl 3. That was
mythology gets you to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm sorry.
Eli,
N-
If a quarterback is able to bring home 2 Super Bowls, which is the key to playing the game, belongs in the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
Regardless
But
of his stats.
Against probably the best quarterback ever.
that's right.
which
But
is one of the biggest statistical anomalies of all time
You catch
Eli,
a ball in your helmet.
that Eli Manning beat Tom Brady twice in the Super Bowl.
But I've
Can't
been
imagine
checking
how that happened.
I've been checking. Eli Manning is not officially in, so
He's
so,
gonna be.
He's
Well,
gonna be in.
He's
He's
gonna
got the
be.
name. He's got the name.
It's his last name and those 2 games.
Yeah.
But I am
only
sick of seeing the fucking Manning brothers everywhere, though. I am fucking sick of that. But
I like
Yeah,
Eli. I like Peyton. I like him.
Peyton 100% deserves it.
Yes, Peyton.
Eli does
yeah.
not.
No,
Eli-
Eli does not.
I think he
my
does.
gosh.
Dude played hard every single game.
Just
There you go.
just for the same reason that I don't think Ben Roethlisberger is going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I'm a huge Steelers fan.
No, Ben is definitely in first.
Ben should be in there,
absolutely.
dude.
Absolutely.
Ben should
Ben-
be in there, dude. Ben
even
should be
even
in
though
there.
Ben didn't play that great in Super
I
Bowl,
hate
he's definitely-
Eli
Ben
Manning.
Ben was never Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah,
It doesn't
but
matter.
he'll get him. Ben's
He
definitely
should
in.
be in there, dude.
But either
Without-
way, those 2 Super Bowls were both great games. The
Look
Giants
at the
passed
Steelers
ones.
without Ben.
No, let's not look at the Steelers without Ben, can we?
That's hard. That is
I have
hard.
I have entire DVDs to prevent me from looking at the Steelers without Ben.
Mhm.
Or you can watch Terry. You know, Terry.
That's that's the other half of these DVDs. It's either Ben or Terry. That's all we're going with.
The only 2.
We're
Ben
gonna
and Terry
forget,
sounds like an ice cream.
we're gonna forget all the
Ben and
years.
Terry's.
We're gonna forget all the years between when Terry retired and when we drafted
Well,
Ben, and we're gonna forget.
hey,
all
but
the
hey,
years after we-
Ben and
after
Jerry
we-
but
should
hey.
Ben and Jerry should make a Ben and Terry Super Bowl
But
crunch.
you know, Joseph, you can not like that, but you had a fucking winning season every year.
we did. We still do. We still
That's
do.
what I mean. That's what I mean. So it can't be that bad. I mean, I remember we were 1-15. We had a 1-15 year not so long ago. So
Yeah.
Yeah, but the sad part is I think mediocre is worse than being just flat out bad. I'd rather be bad than mediocre.
I know what you mean right now, Joe, because y'all are just sliding by 500.
You're not getting bad enough to get a good quarterback. That's what it is. You got an aging quarterback who needs to retire. Justin Fields should be starting for your
Yeah,
team.
100%.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, he should
All
be
right.
the future right now.
all right,
Took a
Mark
big-
Dolly.
What number are we on?
9.
Number 9. Number 9.
Number 9.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Okay. My number 9. Giants
Mahomes got
Bills
bigger.
Super Bowl 25.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great game. A little bit different. There was a game-winning drive towards the end, but of
Wide
course,
right.
wide right.
Wide right.
Yeah, and I really thought Scott Norwood was going to make that field goal, but after watching the game, I kind of like missed the stat. They talked about Scott Norwood was like 2 of 5. The field goal is 45 yards and above on grass or something like that. And if I wasn't so nervous, I probably would have seen that stat. I wouldn't be so worried. But I really thought for sure he was going to nail that field goal. It would have been higher on my list, but if you rewatch the game, the Giants basically played keep away from that gun offense of the Bills because they were so on fire, and that was the only way they were going to beat the Bills that night. Bill Belichick came up with this defensive scheme: 2 down linemen, 4 linebackers, and 5 DBs.
Wasn't that
Hostetler?
6?
Yes,
Yeah,
Hostetler.
Hostetler,
Hostetler, yeah.
But the reason why the Giants won, number one, Bill Belichick defense played a solid game, and they grinded that game, 40 plus minutes of possession. If they played the Bills probably 9 more times, I think the Bills might have won all 9. The Bills were a great team. They're probably the best team I ever saw that didn't win a Super Bowl, but Giants pulled it out. So my number 9, Giants Bills, Super Bowl 25.
We got to pause for a second.
Yeah.
We got to pause. They announced the Hall of Fame.
What is
really?
it? What is it?
Eli didn't get it.
Thank
See,
God! Thank you! Woohoo!
Got it.
That's so good for you, Mark.
Smallest class in modern history. Jared Allen, Sterling Sharp, Eric Allen, and Antonio Gates. That's it.
Well, fucking
They're all great.
fucking
Antonio
Sterling
Gates-
Sharp
Antonio-
dilute.
That's pretty cool.
Antonio Gates, man, really brought the tight
Sterling
end
Sharp,
position,
dude. Fuck, he was way better than his brother if he didn't get hurt.
Jared Allen was a beast, man. He
Yeah.
deserves to be in.
Yeah, they only put 4. They only put 4
That was
guys in
Minnesota
this year.
Vikings, right? Jared Allen?
Yeah.
I think he started with the Chiefs. I think they got
But he
traded.
but he was
I
like
think.
big on the
But
Minnesota.
he'll go in as a Viking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he has
but
to.
he was on Jackass too. It was funny. He fucking knocked the shit out of Johnny Knoxville. That was a great episode, by the way. But for another episode. All right. Where are we at? Mark Alden Taylor,
Well, I'm gonna
number
pick the
9.
same Super Bowl that I picked 2 Giants Super Bowl here, Mark. So
Well,
fuck off.
I'm erasing a couple 49er Super Bowls for being so happy that Eli didn't make it. So
Well,
where's my eraser?
25.
Where's
The
it?
Giants versus Buffalo, man. Fuck you got great fucking Super Bowl there, man. It's like, god dang, it's sad that they went to 4 straight and couldn't fucking win one. But they're all in the Hall of Fame. So you got to get Jim Kelly. Who was the running back of that team?
Thurman Thomas,
Thurman Thomas.
Bruce Smith, Andre
Bruce Smith
Reed.
won with
Daryl
Denver.
Talley, James Lofton, Andre Reed.
Great fucking team, dude. Great fucking team. It's sad. And Jeff Hostetler got himself a starting job with the Raiders. Like that helped him later.
Yeah.
But after that Super Bowl. So I'm going to go with Super Bowl 25, Giants versus Buffalo. That was a great fucking Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Came down to the last minute. Fucking amazing.
Yep.
Whitney Houston with the national anthem. Great performance.
Legendary national anthem performance.
Yep.
Yeah.
I go ahead, Andy.
How far was that field goal? I forgot.
It was
Wide
very
right.
makeable.
Makeable.
It was in the 40s, I think.
I think it was. I thought it was even maybe in the 30s.
Was it?
Yeah, I thought it was in the 30s.
I mean, these guys nowadays, 50s are almost automatic nowadays. But back then,
Yeah, I thought it was like
except for our fucking kicker. Moody sucks.
Nah, Moody made the long ones. He couldn't make the fucking short ones.
He sucks.
It was a 34-yarder.
34.
Oh, shit. That was horrible.
Yeah. That's crazy.
I watched it.
That's like single face
Actually, no,
face
hold on a
mask
second.
kicker days.
Hold on a second. I was looking at the wrong game. It was 47. Never mind, 47.
All right, that's
hard. Yeah, that's hard back then.
Especially trying to win a Super Bowl. That's got to be a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
But I had the same fucking Super Bowl too, because the three of us had the Super Bowl 25. We've mentioned a lot about it, but the one thing that you're forgetting, Mark, is the fucking Giants ruined our three-peat. They ruined our fucking three-peat.
They killed Joe Montana.
Roger Craig fumbled.
That's right. And that wasn't a great win. It was 5 field goals that beat the 49ers.
Yeah.
Not like a really
the Giants always ruined our fucking shit. Fuck them.
But they've always been a thorn in our fucking ass.
Yeah,
really
them and the Redskins. Yeah.
But it was a great game.
And the Cowboys.
That was a Gulf War too, right? If I remember right, what's going on around that time?
Yep.
It was a weird time for America.
I have a good question. Say the 49ers did win that game. Who starts the game versus the Bills? Joe Montana just got his bell rung really bad, or Steve Young?
Steve Young.
Hi, Steve Young.
Yeah, imagine that. That'd be kind of weird.
Yeah.
I think he would have killed Hostetler. They couldn't contain Steve Young because he could run.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying who. No, I'm saying the next week. Say Bills and 49ers.
Yeah, Bills and 49ers.
Yeah, if Steve Young probably would have started, and he would have fucking tore up the Giants because they went.
I don't know.
No.
I mean the Bills.
The Bills.
What about the Bills? The Super Bowl.
Oh, the Bills couldn't contain Steve Young.
Yeah. It would have been a good. It would have been a good game though.
Yeah. But and it was funny because I'm thinking about Chris Berman. Like every year for like 10 years, he picked the 49ers and the Bills to go in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Never happened. But
the Niners and the Bills.
Yeah. Fumble. He was funny to watch. I love watching his. I love watching his highlights, man.
Yeah.
He's rumbling, bumbling, stumbling. He was funny.
Remember NFL 2K?
Yeah. But so we all had Super Bowl. 3 of us had Super Bowl 25 for that one. So Andy's gone. So we'll skip Andy and go to Joe. What do you got?
All right. My next one, a game that never even should have been this game. It should have been a different lineup, but the infamous punt return from the Tennessee Titans that resulted in them making the Super Bowl in '99, and then they ended up being
Music City Miracle.
Music City Miracle. and then they ended up being 1 yard short.
Oh man.
That the
Well,
only
It would have tied it. You can't say it
yeah,
would have won it. It would have
That's-
tied
but
it.
I'm just saying it ended up being 1 yard short from tying and sent it to overtime.
Yeah.
The only Super Bowl that Kurt Warner ever won. Another guy that is surprising that he made the Hall of Fame considering how short his career was. But every season he played, he was a star. So I mean, he's one that I think deserves it. But this is the only Super Bowl that he ever won, and it was a great game. Kind of a tight battle between the Titans and the Rams, and the Rams ended up pulling it off. Greatest show on turf.
Yep.
It's amazing. You hear so much about the greatest show on turf, and then you realize that they only ever won one.
One.
Well,
Was
they got
Kurt-
cheated.
was-
They got cheated with the New England filming their practices. Come on.
Kurt Warner was the only quarterback that's 2 different teams to start, right? In the Super Bowl.
He
Yeah,
did.
another one.
He did Arizona. He did the Rams.
In Arizona against Pittsburgh, I think.
Yeah.
No. But I wasn't sure if he was the only one that ever did it. But I guess
I
yeah.
don't remember. Yeah, I think he is.
But New England filmed the Rams practices on that.
Oh
Super
God,
Bowl.
Mark, get over
Hey,
it.
I hate the fucking Rams. So give me a break on that one. I'm just giving the fucking stats on that one.
Yeah, but here's the thing: doesn't matter if they filmed it or not. No one could beat them. Even
All
when
right,
they
Andy,
stopped,
what do you-
even when they stopped filming, nobody could beat them except for
All right,
the
Andy, what do you got?
Giants.
You might as well let him film. I mean, you're going to beat him anyway,
Yeah.
so let him film it. Yeah. All right, Andy, go ahead, man.
Yeah, let me see. We're on. Let me see. That talk about. Oh, that's so funny that's landing on this one, and I'm not going to talk that much about it because y'all already did Super Bowl 25 with the Giants over the Bills, 2019.
That was a close
We
one,
just
man.
talked about that at length,
Yeah.
up to the length of the field goal that Norwood missed, and he had to move that week from his house and have to relocate.
Ray Finkel, the real lifetime Ray Finkel.
One thing we didn't mention, you were talking about cool NFL stadiums. The Big Sombrero was the name of the stadium.
Oh, yeah.
It was at Tampa Bay, that
Yeah.
stadium.
Yeah.
So
I tell you
cool.
what, I hate the Raiders, but I think they had the nicest stadium in the league right now. I really do. That place in Vegas is pretty sweet.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I also enjoy it when Sammy Hagar plays halftime shows, and then the Raiders go.
That's probably
right
why.
there, right there, Wadzilla.
All right, Mark Dolly. Speaking of you, go ahead, man.
What number are you on now?
8.
Number 8. All right, hey, 49ers fans, you're gonna be happy. Start singing that foreigner song. It feels like the first time.
Super Bowl 16.
49ers Bengals. It feels like the very first time you were our NFL champions. And know what's funny? They weren't even NFL champions like in the olden years either. So talk about just a great run, you know. First game, beat the Giants, beat the underdog wild card Giants, which was a great year for the Giants, actually. So getting the divisional playoffs was fine. Then the catch, Dwight Carter in the end zone. Although Cowboys had like a last second comeback, they forced a fumble.
Yeah, it was a safety that actually made that tackle that saved the game.
That's right. Because the Cowboys only needed a field goal. Then the game itself, you know, people forget about this game. 49ers, there was almost like a blowout, 20-0 at halftime, but the Bengals mount a ferocious comeback. Yeah. And this is what saved them. The 49ers goal line stand. 20-7, goal line stand. And I think 49ers actually ran one play with only 10 guys, but they still stuffed them on third down. So great game. 49ers.
Jim Hacksaw Reynolds, man, made 2 big-ass tackles on that drive.
Yeah.
But that was a football player there. You don't have those players anymore like that, man. And people that would actually go to meetings dressed in their uniforms. You know what I mean? They were just they're a different breed of player back then. You know what I mean? Like your Butkusses and play people like that.
Yeah. The only thing that was kind of like a little blah about that game was it was at the Detroit Silverdome, so you didn't get that really cool lighting.
Wasn't that like really?
It was like a blizzard.
Outside?
It was like a blizzard.
It was hard for the people to get there.
Yeah, it was awful weather the day of the game. Yeah. And actually, I think fans were late to get to the game, but good game.
And the Bengals played that fucking ice freezer bowl to beat San Diego. It was like minus 30 degrees in that game.
Yep, that was really cold.
But yeah, I remember that. That was a pretty cool time. Yeah. All right, Mark, what do you got?
I got the Steelers versus Arizona score 27-23, Super Bowl 43.
One of the best catchers ever.
My fucking God. I was like,
Santonio Holmes.
Arizona's got this. Kurt Warner's going to fucking stop the Steelers. No, it didn't happen. It was one of the greatest Super Bowls I've ever seen.
James Harrison with that 100-yard fumble.
Oh
return.
my God.
Interception.
God
was it
damn.
interception or a fumble? I can't. Was it interception?
That was
It was
like
interception.
so back and forth. I was like on my fucking on my seat watching that shit. I was
Larry
like,
Fitzgerald almost tackled
Yeah,
James
he did.
Harrison like at the
Oh
1
my
yard, and he
God.
actually was running along the sideline.
he was like rumbling, bumbling,
It
stumbling.
looked
Chris
it looked like he was trying to go down at a couple points. Like he was just trying
Well,
to go
oh,
down.
he-
but
There was that SNL sketch right after the game where Keenan Thompson was playing James Harrison, and they asked him. Well, it was on Weekend Update, and they asked him, James, what were you thinking during that run back? Someone tackle me, please. Please, God.
It's like you
tackle
got
me.
like Chris Berman go rumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
It was a miracle. It was a miracle that he made it to the end
It
zone.
was he looked like he was gonna die at the end of that run.
He almost did. I think he almost did.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that because I think the clock did a run out, so the Steelers would have gotten
It
nothing.
ran
I
out
think.
right when he crossed the end zone.
Okay, so the Steelers
So-
might have not gotten anything.
If he would have gotten tackled a decent amount, like if it depends when he got tackled, because it's a turnover, the clock stops the minute he touches down. So there, unless he got tackled at the 1 yard line, there probably
Right.
would have been at least time to kick a field goal. But still,
Yeah.
they needed that
They
touchdown to
needed
end up
it
winning the game.
because it was 10-7. Cardinals were
Pretty
going to
catty,
go
I
up, and then they went up by 10.
Although I will argue when I inevitably get to that game that the Steelers almost choked that game more than the Cardinals almost won it. But I mean,
That was an exciting
the
game,
Larry
though.
Fitzgerald
It was.
touchdown where like 8 different guys had a chance to tackle him and didn't.
That's a guy I wish I had a chance to go to a
He's a
to win
guy
Super Bowl.
that deserved a
That's
Super
my
Bowl
number
and
8,
had
man.
one.
This is for Mark Allen Taylor. Who did the coin toss for that game?
I don't remember.
It was Joe Montana, Roger Craig, Jerry Rice, and Bill Wash's kids.
No, I think I got into that Super Bowl after.
And
that
who
coin
was
toss,
the
yeah.
halftime?
I don't remember.
Tom
Springsteen.
Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Nope.
Oh, I love that
Nope.
fucking. No,
Are you
Was that
sure?
Shania Twain? Was that
Springsteen.
Shania Twain?
Springsteen was
was good, yeah.
Steelers Cardinals.
Springsteen? I thought it was Tom Petty.
Springsteen. No, Tom Petty was the year before.
Was
Unless
it?
Shania Twain was around there too. Sometime.
No,
she was in
way
the
earlier.
90s.
Yeah.
she was in
No,
the
because
90s.
it went no, not the Who. The Stones were at 05 when the Steelers played the
In Silverdome, not Silverdome, Ford Field. Yep.
when the Steelers played the Seahawks.
Okay.
Then the next year was
Yeah.
Prince,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was Tom Petty, and that was the Patriots Giants was Tom Petty.
Was
and
it?
then I know it for a fact because the
Hold on.
halftime show's on this Blu-ray.
I might be off. Okay.
Yeah, because the halftime show is on here.
There you go, Mark Allen Taylor. Next year, best Super Bowl halftime shows. How about that for a show?
I think we did that. Too.
I don't know.
that.
I don't
We
know if
already
there's
did.
We already did
I don't
that.
know if there's 11 of them.
You already did that? Okay.
Yeah, I think it's saying they didn't start to like what the mid 80s.
I mean, well,
like
most
Super Bowl
of
entertainers.
the only one that was actually a real concert until the 2000s was Michael Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
And then it wasn't
I
until
think
like the 2000s.
New Kids on the Block. I think was one of the first ones. That
I
Yeah.
think Bruno
That
Mars
time
is a
shit.
pretty good one, though.
His was great.
Yeah, I love Bruno Mars.
Actually, Super Bowl 25 halftime show never broadcast live. It was
Yeah.
they went to the Gulf War updates.
Yeah.
So you didn't even get to see New Kids on the Block.
Thank God.
Well, I'd rather see the Gulf War results.
I'd rather see the Gulf War results. Yeah, New Kids on the Block suck.
Well, that was a weird time for us. I mean, that's the first time in my lifetime. I mean, I was young. Well, I was young when Vietnam was out.
Yeah.
So that was the first time our country was actually in a, a prolonged type of war situation. So it was
Yeah,
kind of scary, man. It was scary.
I was in the Navy actually back then.
Yeah.
Our ship
I
went
knew.
up.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
So
Oh,
I guess your favorite song is fucking what's that band? In the Navy.
That's
Why?
Who's that?
Village
The
people.
They did
Okay, yeah.
Village People. Yeah. Well, like RCP says, you're pretty gay. I'm just joking with you. My grandpa was in the Navy, so hats off to you, man.
So was my
Yeah,
father.
And it,
Beavis's dad was in the Navy. He was a seaman.
it wasn't. You were partially right, Andy, about that. The coin toss. It wasn't all of them. It was Roger Craig and Bill Walsh's son. Actually, no, that was the year before that. It was all
Okay.
the 49ers.
Okay, so
I think you have it the year.
I got my
Yeah.
Super Bowls wrong.
Because it was the Steelers Cardinals year. It was Roger Craig, John Elway, and Lynn Swann.
Okay.
All right. My pick is Super Bowl 32. Somebody picked it earlier. Denver
That's
beating
what I was
Green
writing
Bay.
No,
It was great to see John Elway get a win. And the cool thing about those two Super Bowl ones, he didn't have to win the game on his own. You know, like I think the past Super Bowls he lost, I think they're thinking, that he was going to win the game all on his own. But he had when I'm looking at his stats sheet, 12 for 22, 123 yards and an interception. I mean, that's just but he made one great run where he just went full bore and just tried to run over that guy. Remember that hit? He really wanted that touchdown. So, that was pretty cool. You could tell that he really wanted it. And Favre had a good game. He threw that really bad interception that cost him, I think. But Terrell Davis, man, 157 yards rushing, man. That guy was he had a short career, but I think it was Hall of Fame worthy. So I don't
He
have
did
a
get
problem.
Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I mean, some people have problems with him being in the
He
Hall
had
of Fame.
he had a lot of migraine headaches, and he actually played that game.
He did.
I remember he couldn't see in one play, and Shanahan just told him to go out there and be the decoy.
And Ed McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey's dad, won a Super Bowl ring that year, so good for him. It was a good game, and it was the end of the domination for the NFC as well. I think it was like 16 or 17 in a row, the NFC. And a lot of it weren't even close. I mean, they were blowouts. So, kind of changed
Thank you, 49ers. My gosh, you guys would win by 45 points. What do you?
Well, only once. Well, twice. We beat the Dolphins pretty bad.
Oh, beat the Dolphins by 3 scores.
Yeah.
That was supposed to be a great game too. And then
we'll get to that Super Bowl later.
No, we're not. No, we're not.
Oh, I will. I will.
I will too. So
that game was bad. Just erase it.
No,
I
don't have
there's significance in that game that I will talk about.
But please don't pick 49ers Chargers. Oh my God.
Oh, that game will be there. That game might be there too.
That game was awful.
No, it kind of wasn't.
Ow! You gotta trim your nails, fool.
All right, Andy, what do you got for number 7, man?
Yeah, my next one is going to be Super Bowl 37. Cowboys over Bills 52-17. That was the first win by the Dallas Cowboys during the Aikman era.
At the Rose Bowl, when Aikman had a concussion, didn't remember it.
Was that 27?
Was it 27? I might have counted these.
It wasn't. 37 was in the 2000s.
Sorry, it was 27.
Okay.
That's the one at the Rose Bowl, right?
These damn Roman numerals.
Thank you.
That's why I'm not even messing around with it.
No, dude, I put
Roman numerals.
But yeah, it was Super Bowl 27.
XXVII.
You know, Troy Aikman says he doesn't remember that Super Bowl because he had a freaking concussion at the.
No. That was the following year. Because
the following year. I thought that was their first Super Bowl.
No, second one. It was the
second one. My bad.
I think it was Bryant Young clubbed them, Troy Aikman, and they had to put Bernie Kosar in.
Bryant Young was on the Niners, dude.
The playoff game, dude.
Oh, yeah, but no. Bryant Young hit Aikman, knocked him out of the game, and then the Cowboys had to put it in Bernie Kosar, and he threw a touchdown pass.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was the NFC Championship.
There was no blue tent back then.
Nobody he was.
There were no helmets either. No helmet.
The Rose Bowl that he was with. It was Pittsburgh where he got knocked out and he didn't remember the Super Bowl. So that was it.
But that was the first one that they made. I remember when they were 1-15. With Jimmy Johnson at the helm. And if I'm not mistaken, I think we were talking with someone that Tom Landry was fired, right? They didn't let him go.
They fired him.
Yeah, they fired him.
Which, dude, it was like, that was Tom Landry, he was, everything that he was the only coach the Cowboys had ever known. The way that Chuck Noll was with Pittsburgh. But yeah, that was the first win in the Jimmy Johnson era. And who knows how far it could have gone, but we've all heard the stories that the Dallas Cowboys lost their way, drugs, prostitution, all that shit. They were partying more than they were practicing pretty much at around that time. And
we won 3 out of 4. That's pretty good. 3 out of 4 years.
Yeah. Oh, well, they got 2 or 3.
I wish they would have kept partying. I wish they would have only ever won the 2 in the 70s, honestly.
Well, I was a big fan then. So
but to go from Jimmy Johnson to fucking Barry Switzer, what a letdown that was. That guy,
Barry Switzer.
Hey, don't give James West any fire.
He won a Super Bowl, but that was fucking Jimmy Johnson's team.
Oh yeah,
just like Seifert's '89 Super Bowl was Bill Walsh's team.
Yeah, dude, fucking Barry Switzer didn't do shit.
So, but we'll get to the '94 later.
At that season that they won, they pretty much coached themselves. Is what happened.
Did he get caught with trying to take a gun in an airplane or something that year or something? If I remember it.
Yeah. I don't remember that.
Yeah,
I was a kid. I don't know.
Oh.
All right, but that's my pick. Is that is 27.
All right, Joe, what do you got, man?
Mark Altair, that's XXVII for you, okay?
I don't want to talk about Roman numerals.
I'm gonna start using Roman numerals now.
Fuck
I
you.
forgot about that.
So my next pick was the before I get there, I just read a tweet. I actually was very surprised by this. As much as I don't think that Eli deserves to be in the Hall of Fame.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying I was surprised by reading this. Apparently, they said the numbers probably aren't going to be released, but apparently it wasn't close.
Wow, really?
Apparently.
And you know what? I looked at next year. Eli's not getting in next year.
No.
Because it gets harder next year.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to get in with the Veterans Committee.
Here's the thing. It's not gonna get any easier after that, because next year, I don't know who's next year. The year after that is Ben, and then the year after that is Brady.
Yeah.
So I don't think if he doesn't get in next year, he's not going to get in for a while.
I thought it was 5 years. Brady hasn't been out 5 years.
In 3 years, he will be.
Oh, 3 years. Okay, I thought you meant next year. I was like,
no, I said next. I don't know who next year. I don't know who next year is. But 2027 is Ben Roethlisberger, and 2028 is Brady. So I don't think he's if Eli doesn't get in next year, he's not going to get in until at least 2029.
Yeah. All right,
but it's just so silly. Either you're a Hall of Famer or you're not. Why do you make guys wait 10? 12,
he's not a Hall of Famer
because they always.
This
is what they always say with baseball, because it's like they look at guys that they say, okay, we can put them off for a few years because they'll eventually get in. But I think it's more of a. They always say it's a statement of you have to be like an all timer to get in your first year.
No,
that's
baseball Hall of Fame. Baseball Hall of Fame pisses me off. One guy Ortiz was the only guy one year that made it in the Hall of Fame.
Oh well, one year.
And then this year that one guy
nobody
didn't vote for. Then this year one guy didn't vote for Ichiro. What the hell?
That guy's an idiot.
All right, Joe.
Anyway,
go ahead when you're ready. I'm gonna go to the bathroom.
My next pick is the game that started the dynasty, 2001 Rams Patriots. And I don't know why Mark gets so pissed off about the Patriots. The team on this planet that got the most impacted by the Patriots dynasty was the Steelers. 3 different AFC championship games we lost to the and I think most of them were at home. We almost could never beat Brady except for meaningless regular season games. The Steelers should have won the Super Bowl in 2001 if it weren't for the Tuck rule.
I can't disagree with that.
The Steelers were obviously the best team in football that year, and then we lost to Brady at home in the AFC Championship.
Let me intervene real quick, Joseph. You guys got hosed on that supposed dropped ball when it was a fucking touchdown.
I forgot. Actually, 2001, Jerome Bettis was not 100% at all.
No,
that was one reason why the guys lost again.
And it was Cordell Stewart was our starting quarterback.
Hey, I
That was
hate
one-
the Rams.
one-
I hate the Rams, but I just
one of
hate
the
them.
losses you guys shouldn't have lost.
Yeah, it was that year.
Cordell Stewart. Wow.
Because it was that year. That one was a close game. 2004, it wasn't a close game. Ben Roethlisberger's rookie year wasn't a close game. But that was more of just like it was his rookie year, and he didn't have the stamina to get through the playoffs.
Yeah, the Steelers. That was the Steelers' 15-win season.
Yeah, we only lost one game that year, and it was week 1.
Wow,
you fucking guys ruined our only chance at a perfect season. Fucking
yeah,
Steelers.
I forgot about that. The Steelers beat the 49ers.
Yeah,
at home too.
2001 Rams Patriots was a great Super Bowl.
It was.
Came right down to the wire with the field goal at the end. But yeah, I'll never get over. Everyone talks about the tuck rule. Yeah, well, the team that it affected the most was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because if we would have played the Raiders that year, we would have beat the shit out of them.
I mean, you got to catch the ball, call your mom, take 4 steps, write a letter for it to be a completed pass nowadays. I mean, it's just ridiculous, man. I mean,
every time the Steelers look like they have a chance of beating the Patriots, they make a new rule.
Right. Yeah. Well, I had a feeling the Patriots were going to win that game when they came out as a team. I'm like, uh-oh. This is going to be a real game. And I just had a feeling and they played them tough in the regular season. I said, you know what, the Rams are going to be in for a tough time, and they were.
It was one of those like
the announcers
team
were
of
saying,
destiny runs.
The announcers were saying they should just play for overtime. Don't do anything stupid, because they got a young quarterback in here, Tom Brady, and they didn't. They went for it, man.
Yeah,
and got in field goal range and won it.
It was like a lot of those teams in the early 2000s. It was like those kind of team of destiny runs. It was that year for the Patriots, 05 for the Steelers, 06 for the Colts, 09 for the Saints, 2010 for the Packers. A lot of those like kind of team of destiny. Like it was like going into playoffs. Everyone's kind of like, oh, I think they're going to go all the way this year. It was one of those things.
Oh, well, because if you remember Saints of 09, that was the Katrina year.
No, Katrina was 06.
Katrina was in 08.
No,
I can't remember.
No, I was in California when Katrina hit. I came to Tennessee in 2008.
It was 05.
Was
when
it?
The hurricane? Yeah,
it was 05. I was in California when that.
Yeah, because I often forget the same thing because it's like I always associate that game with Hurricane Katrina, but it was a couple years later. It was a couple years later.
Okay.
All right.
But I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that game in a little bit.
Yes.
Devin Hester. Oh wait, no, that was a different game. I'm thinking of Chicago, Indianapolis.
It was 05. You're right.
Mark Dolly, what do you got, man?
What number are we on now? I'm losing track.
7.
Sorry. Number 7. Let's see. Number. I said 49ers Bengals. Number 7. Rams Titans Super Bowl 34. Yep. Good. I think somebody already picked this one, right?
Yeah.
Went down to the wire. I always wondered if the Titans score in that touchdown. Do they go for 2 to try to win the game?
No. that would be career defining. You would be the best coach in the world, or you fucking get fired the next year.
Right. Yeah. But
that was Jeff Fisher, right?
Yeah. I'll say one more thing about this game. When I got my Super Bowl numbers for the boxes, I got Rams 6, Titans 8, and I'm like, "Are you serious? I have no chance to win this." Nah, not so close. The last play of the third quarter, Titans scored, made it 16-6, and guess what? They're going for 2. And I thought, this is it. I'm going to win. Nope, they didn't even get the 2-pointer, so I lost. So I almost won the box. Almost won like $500. So those were some of the memories I have about that game.
Right. Josh Allen got the consolation prize. He won
MVP. He's got Haley Steinfeld, man. So
he won MVP.
He's all right. I don't feel bad for Josh.
What? I thought Lamar Jackson would have won.
They're not going to give him to him 3 times in a row, man. I don't think so.
Especially for being a serial playoff choker.
No, I think Josh Allen deserved it this year.
He had the better season, I think.
Yeah. But all right, let's move on here for Mark Alden Taylor. Number 7, dude.
I'm gonna go for Super Bowl 49, New England versus the Seattle Seahawks. What a
Good game.
fucking dumb move, passing it at the end of the fucking. You got Marshawn fucking Lynch, and you fucking pass the ball at the goal line.
But Mark,
What
it's they said it's because nobody expected them to.
Yeah, that was dumb. That was dumb.
Well,
That's the kind of shit that gets coaches fired.
Yeah.
I picked that.
He didn't get fired though.
I picked that one too, so we'll both talk about this one.
I did too.
Yeah.
So
I mean, what a dumb fucking. Even the refs afterwards are like, "How come they didn't give the ball to Rashawn?" You could hear him on the microphone saying it.
Mhm.
It's a totally, it made Malcolm Butler a star too.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, one of the worst calls in I don't know if it. I still don't know. I don't know if it was Ashel called in or Russell Wilson called an audible. I don't know. I still never found out who called. I'm sure if Pete Carroll called that, he would have been fucking. Or if Russell Wilson did an audible, Pete would be yelling at him for that. But
no, I think
anyway,
that was the call the whole time.
yeah, I think so too. But
who was the Seahawks receiver that made that incredible catch? That's why I thought the Seahawks were going to win that game.
God damn.
Oh, what are y'all talking about?
Seahawks, Patriots.
Oh,
Why didn't they fucking push Marshawn Lynch instead of trying to pass it at the goal line?
was it Ricardo Lockett?
I think so. Yeah.
Was it Lockett or was it Curse? One of the two.
That better catch than the helmet catch, honestly. I think.
Yeah.
And Edelman had an incredible catch too.
I think he won MVP that game. I think, if I remember right, Edelman did. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was a great game. I mean, I just always remember Richard Sherman's look on the sideline. You see that look he had?
Yeah.
You see it everywhere nowadays when I got memes and everything.
It had a bad ending because the Seahawks got into a little pissing contest with the Patriots. There was like a fight.
Yeah.
Because everyone always forgets. The game didn't end when he caught that interception.
Right. I think
they were at the 2-yard line.
I think the Patriots were going to take a. I think they were going to take a.
They were going to take a safety, and then the Seahawks jumped off sides.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then personal fouls.
Personal fouls. So they could have gotten the ball back, but they never did.
Yeah, because
I mean the point that I would have not want to been in that locker room that loss, man.
Oh,
because
man.
somebody's getting their ass chewed out big time. You got the best running back in the league
at that time. Oh yeah.
I mean, they couldn't stop him. I mean, he had what? Oh yeah, I know he had over 100 yards. I can't remember, but yeah. I mean, it was just a totally stupid call. But that was my number 7 as well. So we'll go to number 6, Joseph.
Andy.
Or was that yours too?
Well, no, I would say Andy is usually before me.
Yeah, it's me.
Oh, I'm sorry. It was last time he got because Andy got it. Okay, my bad.
So the one I'm going to go with. Great.
Backwards.
Great. I get to talk about this one. Super Bowl 33, Rams over Titans. I had just moved.
34, wasn't it?
Huh?
Wasn't it 34?
Again, maybe I didn't get these Roman numerals right.
It could be. That Super Bowl, we'll just say. Yeah.
Anyway,
what
the 1999 season that was played in 2000.
Yeah.
Roman numerals suck.
Anyway, I had just moved to Houston in '99, so I really didn't know that many people. So my uncle took me to his friend's house to watch the game, and they were having a Super Bowl party. And everybody was going for the Titans because they were the old Oilers. Well, I wasn't an Oiler fan, so I was the only one not cheering. But before I left, y'all were talking if they should have gone for 2, if they would have scored. There's a lot of ifs in this game. I think absolutely go for 2 because hold on, Jerry. You and I have talked about this. When you go for 2 is when you got momentum. Titans had all the momentum in the world and set in the second half of that game because they were dead in the water.
I am all for making some fucking brave calls during the regular season, but a Super Bowl,
dude,
you better fucking make it. That's all I got to say.
Well,
You
remember
better
when New
fucking
Orleans made that onside kick in the Super Bowl?
Balls out call that was.
Dude, big time. But this was with Steve McNair,
I should have picked that.
Eddie George, and you only had a couple of yards. I would have put that. You had 2 guys who you trust with that ball. You had McNair and Eddie George.
They probably did some stupid call. They tried to fucking match the Frank Wycheck or something like that.
They probably try to
Fuck it up.
end around or something like that.
Right. Total.
No, did you just run it up the gut?
I disagree with you on that one, dude.
Man, because they had all the momentum in that game. And to be 1 yard short, dude, that was heartbreaking. It really was. And the thing is I was just watching that game a couple of days ago because on Pluto TV on the NFL Network for the whole week, all they show are Super Bowl games, one after another. And it was late. It was late one night, and I stopped it on that game. And because I wanted to see really how, I've always remembered it was within a yard. And by damn it was right there at the 1 yard.
1 yard.
I mean, on the 1 yard line. He tried to stretch that out, Dyson. Man,
that's kind of the receiver's fault. You got to know where you're at on the field, man. Or maybe
no, but he tried his hardest. He tried his hardest.
You got to make sure if you're not going to get in the end zone, you got to make sure you got to get in the fucking end zone that time. So
dude was going as fast as he could, stretched out as much as he can.
But
I mean, people like you got to remember they were playing with borrowed money to begin with. They shouldn't have even been in the Super Bowl. So.
Yeah.
The Music City Miracle.
Yeah, but Jerry, were you in Tennessee?
And that was a forward pass.
Oh, I was 100% a forward pass. 100%. No, I mean it's one of the most visible things you can possibly see on camera. That was not a lateral.
Oh, absolutely. I was in California at the time.
Okay. I was always wondering that because Netflix has that really good documentary about Steve McNair right now, and
that's a shame. That's a fucking.
I might do Eddie George dead too.
Yeah, no, Eddie George's still alive.
No.
Eddie George.
Oh, he's still alive. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Eddie George just interviewed for the Chicago Bears head coaching job.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because I think he's coach of the Memphis team, and I think they've been going undefeated lately. So he did interview for the Bears coach. But I was going to say was that during that documentary about Steve McNair, that city of Nashville was turned upside down during that Super Bowl run. I mean, it was like a small town high school team. The city just went nuts over them. They were just granted this NFL franchise, and now they're in the Super Bowl. I mean, man, they were head over heels during that time.
I've never been in San Francisco where I lived there when they won the Super Bowl that year.
Oh, really?
It fucking sucked. I was in Cincinnati when they played Cincinnati the first time. And I was in Florida for the next three, and I was in Tennessee for the last three losses, unfortunately. So,
oh man, I've never been here for the Super Bowl, but man, when the Astros have been going to the World Series or having really good years during the past 10 years, it's been a lot of fun around here.
Yeah, I was in Florida when the Reds won.
Were you 90?
I was here last year when the Panthers won hockey. It's like I never get the hometown.
You know what's fun is when the Astros beat the Dodgers in the World Series. That was a lot of fun.
Shut the fuck up.
Mark darling, we've already exhausted that on the show to the point where it's made our guests very uncomfortable.
I don't get old.
That's why I told him to shut the fuck up. We're done.
I'm talking about you.
I never get enough. I never get enough. Go ahead.
I was here during a legitimate shouting match between Mark and Andy about the.
Hey, me and Andy got over it. Stop bringing up old wounds, bitch.
But the Astros weren't beating a drum back then.
Shut up!
We've already exhausted everything about that. There's nothing else to talk about.
I have to go to my therapist again.
All right, Joe. Why don't you go ahead, man?
All right.
This is my drumstick. See it? Can you see it?
All right, so my next one is the one we've kind of talked about a little bit in passing, but we haven't picked it yet, and that is Super Bowl 44, Saints and Colts. Really great game.
I should have picked that one too.
Another unfortunate set of circumstances to get to that game because it shouldn't have even been the Saints. It should have been the Vikings.
That was the Bettis fumble, right?
What?
No, was that the Bettis fumble in the playoffs?
For what?
Indianapolis beat you in that game, right?
No, the year the Bettis fumbled was the year we
won. Oh, right, yeah,
won that game.
Brain cramp, yeah, duh.
No, I was talking about the Saints shouldn't have been in
All
the
right.
Super Bowl that
Edit
year.
that out. Edit that out, Paul. Edit that out.
I ain't editing shit.
Because the Saints shouldn't have been in the Super Bowl that year. That was the year that Brett
Right,
Favre
yeah.
threw the interception in the
And
NFC Championship game when they
Brett,
could have just
Brett, he should have
literally
ran for the first down.
he literally could have fallen over and kicked a field goal to go to the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Was
Yeah,
that when he was with the Vikings?
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
That's
If I
what
remember
Brett
that,
Favre was. That's what Brett Favre was, though. He
If I-
always liked that. He's got the record for most interceptions.
Oh, yeah.
if I remember, Brett Favre had like room to run. He could have ran.
Oh yeah,
for, like,
no,
first
he could have ran, slid, and kicked a field goal to go to the Super Bowl,
down.
and didn't. And then the Saints ended up winning with, like what we said earlier, the ballsy decision to kick the onside kick at the beginning of the second half.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
I mean, just what a great game. I mean, Manning and Breeze, just a great game. And that's speaking to Mark Daly's point about Eli next year. Drew Brees is eligible next year, so that's why it might.
I don't
it's
think
going to be
Eli
hard.
is getting in.
Not at least for the next 3 or 4 years.
Yep.
Do you know what's the stupidest rule right now?
I do know Brock Purdy's not going to get in too. Okay, so
Well, you
we'll
never
just write that
know.
down
You
right
just
there.
started.
What were you
dude.
gonna say,
Shut the
Andy?
fuck up.
Oh, he won't. Anyway, I think the stupidest rule is to let the other team know, hey guys, we're gonna do an onside kick.
Oh, the new rule? Yeah, that's
Well, they
stupid.
have to.
Well-
They have to because of the setup.
They have to because
mean,
of the way that lines
yeah.
up.
yeah,
yeah,
no,
'cause
but come on.
I know.
I agree.
I
I mean,
love
look at all the highlights of when Pat McAfee used to make a bunch of onside kicks all the time, like to himself. Like he would kick it to himself, and it was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah,
But
He wasn't afraid to tackle somebody. He
would
good hits.
blow
yeah.
people up.
that was a
He would
big
blow
dude,
people
man.
up.
I love Pat McAfee. He's awesome.
He's
wrestling.
hilarious.
He's a great announcer, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Let's move on. Mark Dolly.
What number? I keep on getting
Number
6.
6.
Number 6. So I'm gonna go with Super Bowl XLII. That's for Mark Taylor. Number 42. hey, there's your red
Hey,
hat.
everybody else has complained about Roman numerals on here. Just
Helmet
not
catch.
me.
Helmet
Yeah.
catch.
Yeah, Giants, Patriots. Oh, I see a red hat, by the way. No,
Yeah,
For now-
I've been wearing it for you. I didn't say anything.
I got this old fucking Super Bowl 24 hat.
I like that. Oh, anyway,
Oh, those are cool.
obviously, the helmet catch gets brought up, but how about great defense? Giants knock around Tom Brady, holding the 14 points. I think they got 5 sacks.
Mhm.
Bill Belichick did a dumb move. He should have kicked the field goal. Instead, he goes for it on 4th down, and Giants defense felt like totally disrespected for that. And a little FYI, Giants defensive coordinator was Steve Spagnuolo.
Yes,
Chiefs
it was.
defensive coordinator
Mr.
right now.
Timeout.
Yep.
Hey, he's the only guy to win 4 Super Bowls, right?
The only,
Yeah,
only assistant coach to call timeout.
So that's my pick for number 6.
All right, Mark. What do you got?
Well, you guys already talked about the Raiders and Redskins, Super Bowl 18, 38-9. The why I like that Super Bowl, Marcus Allen, man.
Yeah.
What a fucking beast. That run, he went one way and came back the other way and just took off. My God.
I also know why. Because
What
the
a-
Redskins screwed the 49ers the week before, and you were mad, so you were happy
Oh,
to see
I
the
don't fucking care. That run was awesome. And then fucking Al Davis benches him the next year to put in fucking what's his name? Bo
Jackson?
Jackson. Yeah,
It's fucking Bo Jackson, of course.
But the thing is, look, and then he goes to fucking Kansas City and does a great job.
Yeah, he did.
You ever see Bo Jackson run? That guy was a fucking.
So was Marcus
horse.
Allen. There's no reason.
Bo Jackson was much better than
Oh,
Marcus
come
Allen.
on. Marcus
He
Allen
was
was
faster.
Marcus-
Man, Bo Jackson was just
stronger.
Marcus,
his speed, and he was stronger.
Marcus
man.
Allen
Absolutely.
was benched for a vendetta. It's fucking
Possible.
stupid.
It could be, but
It was
I
a
would take Bo
vendetta. Al
Jackson.
Davis was a dick against him.
I
Bo
would
Jackson.
pick Bo Jackson in a heartbeat over Marcus.
Absolutely.
And I love Marcus
But
Allen.
that Super Bowl, look at what Marcus Allen did. Doesn't matter how fast you are. He had instincts.
Oh,
you
yeah.
saw
Just to show
him
what a
with-
beast Bo Jackson was. Remember that throw he made to pick up that guy on the plate when he's with the Royals from the warning track on the
Yeah.
fucking fly to get that guy out
Well,
of home?
did he
But the
run
guy was
over
a-
Brian Bosworth in Seattle?
Yeah, I mean, the guy was a fucking force, man. It's a shame his career was cut short in football.
Yeah, because of
But,
his hip.
Yeah. So I'm picking
Yeah.
the Raiders versus Redskins Super Bowl 18.
Yeah, but that did make Marcus Allen a household name. It really
Yeah.
did. And he was so smooth in between the tackles.
Yeah.
Damn, he was so smooth.
Oh no, Marcus was a great running back.
It doesn't
Don't get me
matter
wrong,
about
man.
speed. It matters how he had vision. The guy
He was
had vision.
agility. Yeah.
All right, my pick is, I think it's 34. It might be 33. I don't know, Andy, but I picked the Rams over the Titans. Great game, man. I mean, I'm gonna talk a little about Kurt Warner here. I mean, that guy, I hate him with the Rams because he always beat the 49ers, but man, the guy was a fucking
Well, the
great
Niners
quarterback,
sucked
man.
when he was the
A guy
quarterback,
that was
though.
basically literally bagging groceries,
Yep.
the year before, and he's like, winning a Super Bowl now. It's like amazing how that works. And
Yeah.
another thing, you talk about the Patriots, how lucky they were that Drew Bledsoe got hurt
Yeah.
that season. I
Mhm.
mean, people don't. They should be thanking the Jets for that. You know what I mean?
Oh, and also Tom Brady got hurt in that game, and Drew Bledsoe came off the bench in the AFC Championship against the Steelers.
Yeah.
Yep.
How ironic! How ironic that could have been worked out. You know?
Isn't
Yeah.
it ironic? Don't you think?
But it was a great game. I mean, I was happy for Dick Vermeil. I like Dick Vermeil. He was always a cool dude. I mean,
Yeah.
and he was in there with Philadelphia, I think, and lost. I
Yeah,
think,
he
if I
got
remember
screwed
right.
with Philadelphia. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a nice guy, and I'm glad he kind of won a Super Bowl. But
With he had Ron Jaworski, right? On the
Jaworski.
Jaworski, yeah. Is that guy still alive or he died?
I don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know.
I don't know either. He was,
But,
I think he was on ESPN a lot.
Yeah, I want to call out another fucking great Rams player, Marshall Faulk, dude. I mean, that guy was a monster.
Yeah.
Running back, receiver. The guy did it all. I mean,
Mhm.
Didn't he come
fucking
from
player.
Indianapolis?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
They
They
traded
traded
him.
for. Yeah, they traded. Who they trade for? Was it to get Lawrence? No, not Lawrence Phillips. I'm fucking lost.
Lawrence Phillips is horrible.
Yeah. Why did they trade him for?
I don't remember. It was a bad trade though.
Oh, because you guys got the Colts running back. You got Edgar and James, I think.
Edgar and
James,
James.
Right.
He was good
That's-
too,
that's why.
but he was no Marshall Faulk. Even
No.
though Edgar and James was good, he did really give him some good years.
All right, number 5, Andy.
Let me see. I just talked about that one.
Is my microphone kind of? Am I making any weird noises? Am I?
No, you're
No.
not.
This time? Okay, good.
I'm out of alcohol. Just like this sucks.
Wish I could
Where-
hand you this.
Oh fuck you! Drink a swig. I want to
Oh,
see what
yeah.
Andy says. I'm gonna go get some more alcohol. Fuck this.
Super Bowl 37, Bucks over Raiders. If y'all remember this one,
Oh, that was a
That's a
fucking.
blowout.
That was a farce.
that was
Callahan didn't make any changes. I'll be right back.
The circumstances in that Super Bowl are awesome, though.
yeah.
Well, Callahan was an idiot. I'll be back.
But I'm sure Andy's going to talk about it. Go ahead and talk about it.
Of course, Chucky. I mean, he went from Raiders.
Yeah.
And Jerry reminded me the other day on Gridiron SmackDown, he was actually traded.
He was traded, yes.
He was traded to the Bucks.
Yep.
And the Bucks, I mean, I think they were big underdogs, and I think Sean King was their quarterback at that time.
Yeah.
Was it Sean King?
I think so. I mean, Keyshawn Johnson was on that team. Mike Allstott, of course, he was pretty awesome.
Oh no, Brad Johnson was the quarterback.
Brad Johnson. Okay.
Right, yeah. It was Brad Johnson. I thought so. But what a great team that came. And then from there, they went to crap. But I would choose that Super Bowl because I remember watching that one. And we were all cheering for the Bucks because the way that they did with Chucky there.
I was in the Bay Area that year, though. So
Okay.
The Raiders were right next door. So there's a lot of Raiders fans. So I was pissed and I was so happy when they lost. But
well, a backstory with that was like Chucky was obviously the Raiders head coach at one point, and the new coach Callahan. I don't think he changed any of the audibles at all.
Oh, dude.
Oh, bad.
And they knew exactly what they were going to do before they even. Dude, it was so predictable.
I mean,
what the Raiders were doing.
I know there are at least two. I know there are at least 2 pick sixes. Were there 3, or were there just the 2 picks?
I think there was 2.
Was it just 2? I know he threw like 4 or 5 interceptions. It was just a bad game.
But as a Niners fan, were you rooting for Raiders because Jerry Rice was on the team?
No, I hate the fucking Raiders, and it sucked because I had to root against Jerry Rice.
All right, I'll ask Mark. Yeah. Hey, Mark,
What?
When the Raiders played the Bucks in the Super Bowl, were you rooting for the Raiders because Joe Rice was on the Raiders?
Nope.
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Oh, see, okay.
Yeah, but the thing is, Callahan was an idiot. He didn't change the offensive
Oh.
line calls.
The
And
audibles, yeah.
the defense was in the backfield the whole fucking game.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, of course. I was rooting for Jerry Rice when he played in the Seattle Super Bowl too. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Raiders had a pretty good. I mean, Rice had a pretty good game. I know he had at least one touchdown.
He did.
Jerry Rice, yeah, he scored a touchdown. Yep.
Who was the quarterback's name? I keep forgetting.
Oh, Rich Gannon.
Rich Gannon. That's who it was. Yeah.
And the quarterback of the Bucks, who Trent Dilfer?
Brad Johnson.
Brad Johnson.
No,
Oh,
Brad Dilfer was the Ravens when they won.
Yeah, he was with the Ravens. Yeah, he was on the Bucks.
Possibly the worst quarterback to ever win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I want to thank the panel for not picking Giants Ravens. Thank you for not picking.
Not yet, anyway. It's not over with
We're
yet,
not
man.
there yet.
Hey, I picked a Giants win, so shut the fuck up. I
Mark,
picked two
do
Giants
you
wins.
see the jersey I'm wearing? Do you think I'm ever going to pick a Ravens win?
No. Hey, I picked a Steelers win, so.
Well, we aren't in a major rivalry, Mark.
Well,
no, we aren't.
I got some more Steeler games coming up.
All right,
So
Joe,
do
what do
I.
you got, man? Come on,
I
Joe.
haven't picked any Steelers games yet, but my number 4, we can just go past me because we already talked about this game a lot. Seahawks Patriots.
I haven't got the 5.
Mark, we already did our number 5.
I didn't do number 5. I did my
Yes,
number
you did.
6 was Raiders. Redskins.
Mark had to go get a drink, so
I got a drink.
Wait, I didn't do mine either, did I?
I didn't do number 5,
Wait.
dude.
Yeah,
My number 5 are all my teams.
Oh, no, number 5. I mean, yeah, not number
Yeah, we're doing number 5.
Number
We're on
five.
Number 5.
Yeah,
Thank you.
number 5.
I'm not that drunk.
All right, Joe.
Anyway,
go ahead.
that was
You
my
done with
number
that?
5.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Mark Dolly.
my number 5. I'm gonna go with Patriots Falcons Super Bowl LI.
51.
Super Bowl. That game.
Mark
For
is just
Atlanta.
getting me with those fucking Roman numerals, which everybody said is confusing. So thank you.
But I gotta say, I'm a Giants fan, but Tom Brady is the greatest of all time. Come
I don't
on,
think
down
so.
28.
Possibly the
3,
angriest I've ever been during a football game, and it had nothing to do with the team I root for.
Down
And it was
28.
because they beat the Steelers the week before.
Yeah. And I think they beat him kind of pretty easily, I guess.
Oh, it was
too,
bad.
right?
It was
He's
bad.
the greatest quarterback that's ever.
And there was
bad.
and there was no controversy. There was no deflate game or anything like
They
that.
just beat
It was-
them bad.
They just beat him. But it's just like, gosh, he's down 28-3. But I didn't think he was going to come back. No, I thought he might make it close, but it was just a master. They made all the plays. You know, Julie Edelman with that
that
miraculous catch, making 2-point conversions when they needed them, winning the coin toss last year. That was a big play too, because that Falcons defense was done. They scored a touchdown to win the game, and Tom Brady, you know, that was number 5. You know, that put that, I hate to say it, but it put him one above Joe Montana. So that made him the greatest of all time. But yeah, great comeback, great game.
I don't, because the rules were changed. Joe Montana got knocked the fuck out.
No, dude. But the thing is that Brady has to go against bigger defenses, faster defenses, more.
Right.
Okay, you can't do a bump and run on Brady. You can't touch Brady. You can't touch the quarterback. You can't lie on top of the quarterback. Joe Montana got knocked the fuck out back in the 80s.
So did Brady.
Not
No.
that much.
Brady took some nasty hits. He
He
did.
did.
Not
And
as
the-
much as have you
and
seen
the
Joe with the
defense was-
Giants? Remember when the Giants knocked the fuck Joe Montana out in the playoff game, Mark?
Yeah.
Dude, but the defense
Brady
is now,
never got hit like that. Never got hit like
Dude,
that.
the defenses are
Montana-
tougher now than they
Montana
were
got knocked out.
during Montana's time.
Hey, I respect Brady, but the rule, you can't touch the receivers, you can't do anything. He had more rules to help the offense. The quarterbacks in the 80s didn't.
I'm just saying the defenses are better now than they were back
No,
then.
they weren't. No,
Oh, yes, they were.
no.
There's-
Ronnie Lott,
That's
there's nobody hit like Ronnie Lott. There's
Yeah, 'cause they
nobody
can't
hit
do
like
that
what was your
anymore. They can't
your
do that anymore.
linebacker, Mark?
Well,
Lawrence
we had
Taylor.
Lawrence
Lawrence
Taylor,
Taylor.
Harry Carson.
Nobody hit like fucking LT. Nobody hit like the steel curtain. Nobody in
Wow.
the 80s, 70s, nobody hit like that.
Here's the thing, Mark. If you want to argue that, they changed the rules in the 80s because of the steel curtain. So that Joe Montana had an easier time than Terry Bradshaw did. You can argue this all day long. So it doesn't matter. Tom Brady's the GOAT. He deserves it. So
well, I like Tom Brady. I have no problem with him.
He did lose some Super Bowls, but he won them all.
Here's the difference, Mark. Joe Montana and Terry Bradshaw both won 4 against the hard defenses that we had to play.
Yes.
Tom Brady won 7. That's a little different.
Yeah.
7 out of 10 is horrible, though.
Yep. But yeah, you're right. Joe Montana got knocked out of 2 games, actually. Yeah, Jim Burt and Leonard Marshall.
Yep.
Leonard Marshall was a big motherfucker, man.
Yeah.
Lawrence Taylor, dude, the best linebacker of all time.
Oh, yeah. Easily.
And WrestleMania main eventer.
Oh gosh, that's probably the worst WrestleMania of all time.
LT,
it is.
dude.
WrestleMania 11 was awesome.
Dude, we were in Florida going, I forget where we were going, but we were driving on the highway and we passed this Jeep type of car, and I noticed the earring, the LT, the earring he always used to wear, and it was actually Lawrence Taylor, man. We actually waved down and he waved back on us. That was pretty fucking cool, actually.
Let's also don't forget about Derek Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh man, he had like 6 sacks in one game,
90s.
6 or 7 sacks
and steroid Bill Romanowski.
Yeah, I mean Derek Thomas passed away early too, man.
Yeah, I just
actually,
car accident, wasn't it? Wasn't a car accident with Derek Thomas?
He was driving to the airport to go see a Super Bowl, I think it was.
Yeah, Derek Thomas. But remember Bill Romanowski, man, that guy was on roids, man. That guy was a beast. Hey,
probably the biggest jerk to ever play the game is Bill
Romanowski. Everybody hated Romo, man. Everybody hated him.
He spit in people's faces. Yeah, I mean,
but he played for the 49ers. So.
Yeah, I'm giving him shit. Yeah,
he actually spit on a 49er player. Actually,
Terrell.
Where are we at?
JJ Stokes. I think.
JJ Stokes.
Oh, we're on year number 5, man.
Well, if you know me, it's all Niners from here. Sorry.
Of course.
Oh, come on.
Imagine our rule change came back to bite us because Mark's going to pick nothing but 49ers.
Well, I told you guys,
even though most of those games were garbage.
Even I'm
not really. But this game was garbage. But it was awesome to see John Elway get fucked up. 55-10, Super Bowl 24. Yeah. That was awesome. Everybody picked Denver. But
no, they did not.
Who picked Denver?
Denver in that game,
Denver. No, they did not.
They were picking Denver. I remember everybody say, fucking, he's the greatest quarterback of our generation. Joe Montana never got any credit, dude. Come on.
What? Come on,
even in fucking Notre Dame, they fucking.
Oh God, I'm ashamed to wear this shirt.
Well, yeah, because he wasn't the all-time legend at Notre Dame that he was on the 49ers.
Yeah, well, Notre Dame, he had that play. He won the Cotton Bowl because he was really.
But they were talking. What was Denver's defense? They were talking. Oh, this defense is going to get Joe Montana.
Dude, Joe Montana has always been known as one of the greatest of all time.
He is, but he was always underestimated. Watch a documentary about him. Watch it, even his own team.
Come on, dude. Come on, Mark. I'm a Niner fan, and I don't believe that.
Well, have you watched a documentary about him?
Yes, I had. The 3-parter, right?
And did you see that he was underestimated by the Niners, is even college team? Notre Dame underestimated.
College team, yeah, probably.
Yeah,
but even his coach Bill Walsh underestimated him sometimes.
Right.
Maybe his first year, Mark. I don't know.
He drafted him. How can he underestimate somebody?
He did underestimate him because he wanted Steve Young in there. He did get.
That was later on, Duran. That was later on.
I'm just saying,
that's not underestimating.
I remember 55-10 where they were talking about John Elway is the second coming of Joe Montana. John Elway and that fucking what was the Orange Crush? Did they have the Orange Crush defense back then? Mm-hmm. They said they're gonna kill Joe Montana. I remember that shit, dude. And it didn't happen.
The one thing I remember about this game was once the game started getting a little bit out of hand, John Madden kind of like revealed some things he heard during the week was 49ers, I think the offense coordinator was Mike Holmgren. He told John Madden, every play that we have will work.
What I'm saying, when I saw up to coming, ESPN and all these things were saying, oh, John Elway is the new Montana. The Orange Crust defense will stop Montana. It didn't happen.
I don't remember
Possibly that, but saying that Joe Montana's underestimated, dude.
He was always underestimated,
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
always showed his worth. He always showed his worth.
I pretty much knew the 49ers were going to win that game. I didn't think they were going to win by 45, but I felt they were going to win by 20, I think.
Well, that's
what
my
it felt
number
like.
5.
Yeah, because during that time, John Elway was the underdog.
Mark,
well, my next one we'll talk about, and you guys better agree with that.
All right, my next pick. Let's move on.
I was going to say just one thing I have to say real quick. Mark, as a fan of another of the greatest of all time teams, I don't understand why every single sports team that you're a fan of is underestimated all the time, even though literally every team you root for is like the greatest team in that sports history.
That's right. Lakers.
Really?
Niners,
I have
you're a Lakers, Dodgers, and 49ers fan. What the
Dodgers
fuck do
only
you have
won
to be
7
mad about?
championships. You got the Yankees that won more.
Yeah, try being a Florida fan. Try being a Cincinnati Reds fan.
Try being a Baltimore Orioles fan, Mark.
I want to go back.
Well,
in
you
time.
did lose to the Dodgers in the '60s.
I want to go back in time. I think Mark was one time a Rams fan. He just gave up. He said, "That's it. I'm not a Rams fan."
You know what? I have a picture of being a Rams jacket as a kid. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
There's a
My
lot of
grandpa
people
bought that for me.
There's a lot of Niner fans in LA. You can tell by when they play each other there. There's more Niner fans than there are Rams.
There's more fans of every other team in LA except LA's teams.
Well, except for the Dodgers.
No, I'm saying the football teams, Mark.
Well,
the football teams.
Whenever nobody likes football in LA.
No, they do. They just don't like the LA teams.
No, they don't.
they
did like the Raiders. They did like the Raiders. I'll give them that.
And then the Raiders moved.
Yeah, and then
all right. Let's move it on here, guys.
Yeah,
it's almost 10:30. My pick is Super Bowl 16, San Francisco over Cincinnati.
There you go. Boom.
Mark mentioned the great goal line stance there, which cemented that victory, I think. And I'll make a shout out because I was living in Cincinnati at the time. I watched a lot of Bengals game. Ken Anderson was a good quarterback. Was he spectacular? No, but he was a winner, man, for the Bengals.
Was that with Chris Collinsworth, right?
Chris Collinsworth, yeah.
I want to. Chris Collinsworth
twice.
Now here's a guy, Chris Collinsworth. You know, he's an all right wide receiver. Doesn't get enough notoriety. That's my Chris Collinsworth imitation right there.
I don't understand the hate he gets. He's pretty good commentator to me.
Oh fuck, he has like this obsession with Patrick Mahomes, man.
He doesn't bother me at all.
He has an obsession with anybody, but he
told him he looked good in those pants. I mean, that's something. I mean,
he's still not as bad as Tony Romo, but whatever.
I don't think Romo is.
Romo is one of the worst announcers in NFL history.
I think Joe Buck is.
I remember when Bushy was like saying Romo's awesome.
I don't think he's bad.
I don't think Romo's bad.
I'll take Romo over Collinsworth any day of the week. But anyway, Super Bowl 16. Let's go number 4, Andy.
Yeah, my next one I think has already been spoken about, so I'll go real quickly on this one. What's number 8? Yeah, I'm trying for Patriots. So we've exhausted that one. Sure. So go ahead.
All right, Joe, what do you got?
All right, I'm surprised I'm the first person to bring this game up. 1988 49ers Bengals.
Well, that'll be up. That's coming up.
That might be like coming up, yeah.
Yeah, well, we know it's coming from Mark's list because all 5 of the freaking 49ers wins are on his list in his top 5, even though it was his idea not to have any of our own teams on our list.
But I changed it because
we changed it and then you took advantage of it. So that's my number 4.
Hey, I listened.
1988.
Was that with Boomer Esiason?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Dickie Woods.
Dickie Shuffle.
It works better for baseball, though.
What does?
Not picking your own team for baseball.
Yeah, there's a lot more options there.
Yeah, a lot more options, yeah.
Yeah. All right, who are we at next?
Joe, you brought that up, and I said, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. That doesn't mean you put all 5 of your team's wins 1 through 5.
It's my favorite Super Bowls. Why would that?
Mark Dolly, what do you got, man?
It's gonna be an echo here. I got the 49ers Bengals. Now, Super Bowl 23. We're done with the Roman numerals, and but that was a great game. Joe Montana in the 80s, he was the GOAT. Yeah, and you just had a feeling that he was gonna lead that team down the field to get that touchdown and win the game.
Sam Weiss was saying that's too much time we gave him.
Way too much time. He probably thought he could make it home to a field goal, but no.
Yeah.
Joe Montana, he's a killer. He's going for the 6. He's going to get the touchdown. Some things people forget about in that game. That field was atrocious.
It was.
Grass was being torn up everywhere. The Bengals, the Tim Crumry had like a compound fracture in his leg, and the Bengals kick return, which game there was the first score of the game after it was all field goals, and then they went up 13-6. So Bengals they hung tough, but they didn't pull it out. So number 3 for Joe Montana and the Niners.
The 49ers have given up 3 kickoff returns in 3 different Super Bowls. I think that's probably the only team that's done that. Baltimore, they did it. Baltimore, that game there, and the Chargers ran one back against them.
Yeah, that I forget about the Chargers one because that game was such a blowout.
But still, I mean, it was,
Yeah, but still, that's kind of an anomaly right there too.
Yeah.
I should have saved that for our records thing next year. You know?
you can do it again.
Maybe you'll forget. All right, where are we at? Mark Alden Taylor.
4?
Yep.
Now, you guys can't fucking say shit about this one. The Niners versus the Dolphins 38-16 because everybody was on Dan Marino's fucking shit. The ESPN
no respect for Joe
things.
Montana.
No respect for Joe Montana on that fucking Super Bowl.
I got you
it
there,
was
Mark.
all fucking Dan Marino. 2 hours about Dan Marino on that fucking
Joe Montana wasn't on Ace Ventura, damn it. It was Dan Marino.
And it was 38-16. The only Super Bowl that Dan Marino ever got, and fucking Joe Montana
never did isotoner glove commercials.
No, he did that fucking shoe. What was that shoe commercial he did? I forgot what that was, but he did do that fucking shoe commercial.
I'm sure he did, but I don't remember any. You know, I don't think he was really sponsored.
He did do some stuff.
He did the razor commercials too. Remember?
That's true. Him and his wife. Yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, they were all on Dan Marino's gonna kill Joe Montana. Blah blah. It was like 2 hours. The Super Bowl preview show was all about the Dolphins. Nothing about the Niners. Yeah. They beat him in Stanford Stadium. Fuck you, Dan Marino. You suck. You never won a Super Bowl.
I don't know if he sucks.
Well, he doesn't suck.
I wouldn't go that far.
I think he's the best quarterback. I think he's the best quarterback that never won a Super Bowl.
Oh, 100%.
I agree with you, but the thing is, he always said, "Hey, we'll get the running game after I get my stats." He didn't want the running game. He just wanted to throw. So there you go.
That was
he was a rookie, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a rookie.
No, second year. He lost. His first year, he lost.
Was Duper and what?
Mark Clayton.
Mark
Brothers.
Yeah, but that was the first Super Bowl that had. I think 49ers had 15 wins. Dolphins had 14 wins.
But that season, that Super Bowl, they were all talking about Dan Marino. Nothing about the Niners.
I honestly, I felt confident.
I believe you.
The Niners were on a mission. They destroyed the Bears, and they beat the Giants again in the playoffs. So they were on a mission. I didn't see
Now if you want to talk about the game that they underestimated was the Bears game because it was in Chicago. Everybody thought Chicago was going to win that game, but the Niners destroyed them, and it was I think it was like real bad weather too, and
usually West Coast teams
play in that weather.
Don't do good in bad weather, and they did.
Yeah.
And the thing is that at that time in the mid '80s, Dan Marino was the toast of the town. Yeah. He really was. I mean, the guy was all over the place on TV. He was on commercials, guest appearances on TV. $25,000 pyramid. I make that part up. I'm just guessing. But yeah, he was everywhere.
But so it's my pick. I'm going with Super Bowl 42. The Giants over New England, man. That was New England's undefeated year.
Yeah.
You know, nobody thought that Giants have a chance, but
they had Randy Moss.
The Giants just basically outplayed them in every aspect. I'm gonna say maybe they were one step ahead of New England a little bit in that game. Maybe, as far as the defense is concerned, I'm talking about.
I think I saw the Patriots were 12-point favorites.
Yeah.
Yep.
That game.
They were. Yeah, the Giants were a mutt that game. I remember. Yeah, I think they were one of the worst that actually won, besides the Jets, of course.
Because I think they were like 9-7.
They were the ugliest mutt.
No, but they were 9-7 record-wise.
No, they were actually 10-6 that year.
10-6. Sorry, I
Yep.
was up by one game.
Yeah.
But that
But yeah,
play with
I actually had a argument on Facebook over that. Like the Giants beat probably the best Super Bowl. They would have been the best Super Bowl winning team. But
Oh yeah, all time.
ESPN ranked that Giant team as the second worst. I was like, okay, I guess.
But I remember, I think the Patriots actually played the Giants the last game of the season that year. I remember it was
the
a
Giants
close game
played them
too.
tough. They played them. They lost by 3.
And people were talking like, wait a second, the Giants and they were like, the Giants that maybe have something. I remember the announcer saying something during that game. Maybe they found it out when they got together in the Super Bowl. But I want to, we talk about Eli here. That play before the helmet catch was a great catch, but him getting away, he was about ready. He should have been sacked. And give him credit for that fucking great play.
Yeah, he looked like he was good
earlier.
Yeah, you did say that earlier. I'm sorry, I did.
Oh, no. A couple of days ago when we were talking about it during Messenger, he got away. I mean, that was a hell of a scramble.
I mean, even that Nacho saying he's going to get sacked. Oh no, he escaped. It's like, it was a good play. But anyway, let's keep it going here. Number 3, Andy.
Yeah, my number 3. Where are we at? Hold on. Oh yeah, okay. We talked about this one already, but Steelers over Cardinals is my number 3.
That was a great game, man.
Yeah, it really was, man. And where was that played at?
Tampa.
Yeah,
in Tampa. It wasn't in Arizona's home field.
No.
The first
team was Tampa Bay.
Was Tampa Bay in 21.
Okay.
Yep. And then the Rams played it at SoFi.
Yeah.
They were home.
Okay.
2 years in a row they had them at home.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
Well, technically, San Francisco did kind of play at home, if you think about it.
And Stanford.
Yeah.
How come?
But it wasn't there. It wasn't there.
But in their home stadium, the first one was Tampa. Was the Brady
year,
Bucks.
It's at Levi's. Let's go Niners.
There's no way you're gonna play a Super Bowl at Candlestick Park. That fucking weather that time of year, there's no way.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah,
ever be played there. That's probably why they ended up doing the Stanford thing.
I would really love for them to play at all stadiums.
But I saw a game. I saw a game at the Stick, and I got to stand on the exact spot in the end zone where Dwight Clark caught that ball. So
wow.
that was kind of cool.
You know that Joe Montana practiced that play.
And you know the funny part about that is, me and my friend David went to a Cardinals game against the Niners. We walked right on the field. We weren't even stopped by anybody.
Wow.
But
like,
people say that was a lucky play. They practice that shit.
Yeah, because Dwight Clark
and Joe Montana practiced that at the back of the end zone where he would go up and get the ball.
Dwight was actually a very tall receiver.
Yeah, he practiced. They practiced that play all season. So,
but
well, he was a lot taller than Everson Walls. I can tell you that. To begin with.
All right, where are we at here? I'm sorry, we're on
my number 3.
Joseph, yeah, sorry, man. Go ahead, man.
This is the second instance of me combining 2 games together, just because they're both so sweet. And that is Super Bowl 10 and Super Bowl 13. Steelers beating the Cowboys. The real team of the 70s. Suck that, America's team.
I don't remember 10 very well, but I remember 13 as a kid.
Yeah.
I remember that guy dropping that ball for Dallas, man. Oh, man. I mean, jeez.
I mean, just both of them were fairly low scoring. Well, first one, Super Bowl 10 was 21-17, but Lynn Swann made a ton of great catches, Super Bowl 10 and 13.
Lynn Swann was a beast, man.
Lynn Swann in the Super Bowl was just... Stallworth was what got us to the Super Bowl every year. Lynn Swann came alive in the Super Bowl. That's how that duo worked.
Jerry Bradshaw looked older than hell.
Oh yeah,
one of my favorite linebackers ever, man. The fucking great Jack Lambert, dude. What a character! Speaking of characters, dude, I love that guy.
One of I would say. I know I'm a homer here on this one, but possibly the greatest starting lineup on a defense of all time.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree with you.
Joe Green, you got Jack Lambert.
Who's the one that you're pissed off that hasn't gotten the Hall of Fame?
Hasn't gotten in the Hall of Fame yet?
You told me this.
Yeah. Oh God.
We talked about it.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Oh,
He
I
was on the
know.
D line.
Oh, no, okay. I'm thinking someone else.
Oh, good God. I can picture his face.
You told me this so many
Yeah,
times.
I know.
Jason.
Why am I? It is Mark. It's 11:30 at night.
I know. Let's keep going.
But why can't I think of his name? It'll
Elsie,
come to me.
Elsie Greenwood.
Elsie
probably.
Greenwood. Elsie
Elsie
Greenwood.
Greenwood. Yeah.
But like, Mean Joe Green is the only one of the actual defensive line that's in the Hall of Fame. None of the rest of them are.
That's
Ernie
bullshit.
Holmes isn't in the Hall of Fame. Elsie Greenwood isn't in the Hall of Fame. But they finally just put in Dwight White a couple of years ago. But I mean,
Because
Jack
Lambert
Lambert,
was a linebacker.
Mel Blount, just all like Mike Wagner, all these guys that we
You
had.
had somebody named Ernie too. Ernie
Holmes.
something. Ernie Holmes. Yeah.
He was on the line. Yeah.
That was a great defense, man.
Oh,
I love Jack Lambert. Jack Lambert was he's the kind of guy that you would want on your fucking team.
Oh yeah,
you don't want to play against him.
tooth.
I just remember him. Somebody messed with his kicker. I think it was somebody with Dallas, and Jack Lambert went after that guy. I mean, that's the kind of guy you want on your team, man. I mean, he's the one that said quarterbacks should wear dresses instead of he's a character. Dude.
Let's keep going, man. It's getting late, Jerry.
You're right. All right. Mark Dolly, go ahead, man.
Number 3. This game hasn't been brought up yet, but how about the Crown themselves for a 4th time in the 70s? Steelers beat the Rams in Super Bowl 14. It was at the Rose Bowl. It was kind of like a home game for the Rams. The Rams were only 9-7, but they were pesky. Vince Ferragamo gave the Steelers a heck of a game. Recap was 24-19 Steelers. Ferragamo threw a pick. And then Steelers just iced it by throwing another bomb to John Stallworth, which was another long pass. And back and forth contest. Steelers were up, Rams were up. I think there was like 4 lead changes in that game. But yeah, kind of a forgotten game. Steelers Rams, 1979 Super Bowl.
I think they made a movie about that. Some quarterback died or something. And he came.
Yeah,
back.
Heaven Can Wait. But
Heaven Can Wait. That's it.
Yeah.
I think it was based on that Rams team, at least. I think.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Warren Beatty, I think it wasn't.
Warren Beatty, yeah.
It's a good movie too. Yep.
But it's not associated with the Iron Maiden Heaven Can Wait song.
Heaven can wait.
All right, Mark. All right, Mark. Number 8.
Mark is going for like one of the greatest Super Bowls I've ever seen. Steve Young threw 3 touchdowns to Jerry, 6 touchdowns. Jerry Rice, 3 to Ricky Waters.
Terrible game.
Destroyed the fucking Natron Means Business. Chris Berman called Natron Means Business. It was a great game because I was like, fuck yeah, destroy these fuckers. And they scored 49 points. And Steve Young got the monkey off his back from Joe Montana.
When he beat Dallas.
Honestly, and he beat Dallas that year.
Honestly, the Super Bowl was 2 weeks before, and that was like probably one of the worst Super Bowls I ever saw.
But it was great for me because I saw Steve Young finally get his due.
But that 49er Cowboy game was huge.
That was the Super Bowl.
Gary Plummer.
A lot of those NFC Championship games actually were the Super Bowl.
But Gary Plummer coming and take the monkey off of Steve Young's back was amazing. It was like
it was fun.
That shit.
It's always fun. It's always fun.
But he beat Joe Montana's record of 5 touchdowns, and nobody's beat the 6 touchdowns yet.
It's always fun when your team wins. Don't get me wrong, Mark. I was happy.
But the thing is, Steve Young was getting. Coming up to that, Steve Young was getting so much shit losing to Dallas the first 2 times in NFC Championship, and he fucking proved that he was a Hall of Fame quarterback.
You're talking about somebody that's been underestimated his whole career.
Steve Young.
Yeah.
Yes.
Not Joe Montana, Steve Young. Because
Steve Young was
always
fucking totally underestimated, more than Steve Young. Dude, the guy went into the USFL. It's like
Montana. Oh, he said Montana was more underestimated.
He was underestimated, but Steve Young was also because everybody compared him to Joe Montana. That he couldn't win the big game. And when he won that game, you saw Gary Plummer come off on the sideline, take the monkey off his back, which was Joe Montana, which was amazing for me to see Steve finally get what he deserves and beat Joe Montana with 6 touchdowns.
Deion Sanders was out of there right away.
Mm-hmm.
My pick is Super Bowl 43, Pittsburgh over Arizona. I think that's definitely one of the best Super Bowls ever. Talked
Yep.
about a lot, so we won't go any further than that. Number 2, Andy.
My next one now mine aren't chronological order. They're not the second best or the first best, but I am going to go with the Patriots over the Falcons. We've talked exhaustively about this one, but dude, I just had a feeling that Brady was going to do it, and it was amazing the way that he did it in the second half. But still, I will beat the horse down this one. The Falcons kept stopping the damn clock over and over with drop passes. It made no sense what they were doing. Run, kill the clock, 28-3. What the hell did they talk about during halftime? I mean, were they watching Lady Gaga or something? Because they came out with no strategy.
It's almost like they were trying to embarrass. I think they were trying to embarrass.
They were trying to run up the scores. What they were doing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
And they fell flat on their face.
They got
And
what they
not
deserved.
only did they fall on not only did they fall flat on their face, they're going to be known in history for throwing this away. Who knows if the Falcons will ever win one?
Probably won't.
Probably won't.
That was their chance.
That was their chance.
Yeah.
And
They also lost. Who was the coach of the Denver Broncos? He lost.
It was them.
That was with Dan Reeves when
Dan
they
Reeves.
lost the first that first one.
But that's the thing is like people forget that they even made a Super Bowl before that.
Yeah.
Like they are known as just one of the worst franchises in the NFL.
Yeah.
People forget they ever even made the Super Bowl until 28-3.
Yeah. 28-3 will all that's what they'll always be known for. You're proving my point again. No one knows. I mean, nobody talks about the Michael Vick era. Well, thank God about that. But
Yeah, no, I mean,
they made it.
Atlanta had that quarterback. I can't think of his name at the moment. This quarterback was really good for Atlanta.
Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan. Yeah, he was a good quarterback.
Matty Ice, give me a break.
People remember two things about the Falcons. One, they made the Super Bowl in '98 because of the missed field goal for the Vikings, and two, 28-3. That's it. Yeah. Basically, two flukes. They made the Super Bowl when they shouldn't have, and they blew the one that they should have made.
Yeah. And they play in arguably one of the worst divisions in football, and it has been
NFC
for over
South
a decade
sucks.
plus.
Yeah.
And
all right,
win that division.
Yeah.
All right, Joe, what do you got, man?
My number 2 is a game that surprisingly nobody's brought up yet. The year of the Philly special. Super Bowl
Patriots
2018
Eagles.
Patriots Eagles.
Yeah.
Amazing game. Came right down to the end with a strip sack on Tom Brady.
Yeah.
I mean, a back and forth game, just a really, really great game. Controversy with the one of the Eagles touchdowns where it probably wasn't a touchdown when he in the end zone. And the Philly special and strip sack and everything, and it was just a really, really, really great game. The kind of I think everyone it was the false hope that everyone had that the Patriots dynasty was over. Even though they ended up winning the next year in one of the worst Super Bowls of all time. And then the dynasty really was over. But just a phenomenal game between the Eagles and the Patriots.
Yeah. All right, Mark Dolly, what do you got number 2, man?
It's been brought up already. Patriots Rams, the birth of the dynasty of the Patriots. Just shout out to Bill Belichick. If Bill Belichick is a defensive guru, smart coach, great motivator actually too, and one of the few coordinators that actually moved on to great success as a head coach. Sometimes it's just you're hit or miss, but they pulled off the shocking upset. It's the greatest show on turf, the dynasty that never was.
You guys ever see that documentary, the Brady Six, where they had the 6 quarterbacks drafted before Brady?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Like none of them
same thing with Joe Montana. He was a late pick too.
Yeah. It was a really cool documentary because none of those guys were. We picked like Giovanni Carmazzi.
Oh, don't talk about that shit.
All right, but anyway, okay. Mark, what do you got? Number 2.
I got Super Bowl 16, Niners versus Bengals, 26-21.
2016.
Fucking great fucking Super Bowl. They came back and just fucking just
Oh
beat
no, you're right. It was. You're right.
the Bengals. Fucking, fucking the Bengals are like the Niners. Fucking kryptonite. The Bengals are the kryptonite of the Bengals, man.
Right.
And it was close for being the third
Yeah.
time. The Rams beat us in the championship game a couple
Yeah.
years back. But Jimmy Garoppolo, fuck. My pick is Super Bowl 23, San Francisco over Cincinnati, 20-16. That drive, everybody thought that last pass was going to Rice, ended up going to John Taylor, which was a beautiful fucking pass. I mean, he just threaded the needle on that pass. It was beautiful.
That's your number 2?
Yeah.
What the fuck's wrong with you?
So that's my number 2. Number 1, real quick. We'll do a little quick thingy.
I'm still
don't-
saying, what the
don't-
fuck's wrong with you on that number 2, Jerry?
Don't pick 49ers, Omar. Come on. Pick a
Andy.
real game for number 1.
Andy, you're on mute.
And you're muted.
Yeah, I see that.
Yeah.
No. I kind of skipped these. But I will talk about this one because this was number 2. It should have been. Oh well, it doesn't matter. The last one I wanted to talk about was Patriots over Seahawks. We talked about that one. It's amazing the Belichick Brady partnership. You know, all that they accomplished. Because Belichick didn't do that much after Brady left, and of course, we all know what Brady did in Tampa, which was, you know,
That makes you wonder, yeah.
Yeah, because
A bought team, you mean?
huh?
A bought ring?
Oh well, it's easy.
Who'd they buy? They just bought Brady.
Yeah,
They had Godwin, they
Gronkowski.
had Evans. Oh,
They brought Gronk in.
right.
Yeah.
You're right.
That was
But,
basically their offense.
But they
With
had
Brady and
Godwin and fucking Evans, man. They didn't
Yeah.
really need any more help for the receiving.
Yeah,
They had
but
that good running
probably-
back too. I can't remember his name, but he's really good.
What started with a L? What was his name?
I can't think of it.
Anyway, yeah, but Gronk really didn't do that much that year. He was hurt a lot. You know, he wasn't a big part of that offense that year.
I'll just never forget. I think that was the dumbest thing ever because he
Yeah.
literally, and he talks about because that he retired because he didn't want to go to another team.
Right.
Yeah.
Like he
But
retired
Brady
on
came college.
purpose, and then when Brady left the Patriots, he left too.
Yeah.
Probably he's not working in the Raiders office right now. Front office.
Who
or
knows? He
something.
might be.
All right, where we at?
My number
So that's
one.
my last one. But
Number
he
one.
is working for Fox,
Yeah.
just like Brady is. All right, I'm done, guys.
All right, Joe.
More Steelers.
The only time in my lifetime that I actually remember a team that I rooted for winning a championship game. Because I wasn't old enough to remember 05.
Right.
I knew this one. I remembered this one. The only major championship that I ever actually
Have seen.
watched my team won.
Wow.
I've never the Orioles have not done shit in my lifetime. Notre Dame has made 2 national championship games in my lifetime and not won either one of them. This was the game. And I remember James Harrison's pick 6 vividly before halftime because I was this was on February 1st. So I was almost I turned 10 a week after this game. So I was 9 years old when that game happened. And I remember going to bed at halftime right after the James Harrison pick 6 and not even knowing all the crazy crap that happened in the second half. And I just woke up the next morning that the Steelers had won a championship. But the amazing things that happened in this game, the pick 6, and then right after, and then you have the holding in the end zone for the Steelers, that was a safety, and then the Fitzgerald, however many 80-yard touchdown pass. And then when the Steelers get the ball back, and you just felt it. You knew something was going to happen.
I thought it was over after that Fitzgerald touchdown. I did. I thought it was over.
Yeah.
To me, when I watched that game back, and I mean, I know what the outcome is, but there was something in the air. The way Ben walked out, excuse me, the way Ben walked out onto the field and just like, okay, we're going to run our offense. And just couple couple short passes down the field, and then Holmes gets the one really good one when the defender falls over,
Antonio Holmes
gets down to the 10-yard line, and then the misfire on second down on the other side of the end zone, and you see Holmes go up to Ben after that pass and say, "Give it to me one more time," and he
What
did.
a catch! What a catch!
And possibly one of the most like iconic images of the Super Bowl of all time is Santonio Holmes toe tapping in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah,
Me and Andy were talking about how good these guys are getting 2 feet in the fucking in bounds now. It really is what they can do nowadays, man, how good they are at that.
It's knowing exactly where they are and how to balance their bodies.
Yep.
It's amazing.
It's right there on the top of the Blu-ray. Santonio Holmes toe tapping in the end zone.
One of the best plays ever.
And
it might be the best play in Super Bowl history.
Yeah. And then everyone forgets that the defense had a strip sack right afterwards.
Right.
It wasn't it was still like 30 seconds left, and we were only up by 3. And they got the ball back. They were almost at midfield, and we had a strip sack to end the game. Yep. But just one of the greatest all around 60 minutes of
absolutely. It was a great game. One of my favorites of all time.
Hey, Joseph, let me ask you something, even though this is away from football. What do you think about the trajectory of the way your Orioles are going?
I think we've and the sad part is how young our core is. I think we had our chance.
I really think that something happened between here and there where they should have been going, they're not going for some reason.
We're not taking any steps forward, and we're not. And even with the new ownership, we're not making enough big splashes in the off season.
Yeah, and a lot of teams are passing. Boston got stronger, the Yankees got stronger.
We haven't. We lost Santander.
Yeah,
we lost Corbin Burns.
Yeah, and it just seems that I know that y'all have a good young core, but there's just something missing there. Yeah. And I hate to say that.
And especially when they kind of took a step back last year.
Yeah,
they needed to add something big, and they didn't.
Yeah. Yeah, and again, this has been a quiet off season. Big time quiet off season for them.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry guys, I don't mean to be interrupting, but this has been a long show.
Oh,
Mark, what do you got?
I don't mean to bring that up.
No, it's all right. Mark, what do you got?
I didn't understand how this wasn't your number one Super Bowl, Jerry.
Mark Dolly.
Oh, Mark Dolly, go ahead.
We know what you're going to pick, Mark.
Yeah, right.
My number one. I'm not a homer. It's not a giant Super Bowl. I'm not a homer. And I actually thought about picking Super Bowl 10 because that was the first Super Bowl where the game went down to the last play. It was a Hail Mary. The Cowboys had a chance to win the game, but it was an interception, and Steelers won their second Super Bowl. But I'm going number one is basically the two best franchises of the 70s, Cowboys, Steelers, Super Bowl 13. Fantastic game. Lots of big plays. And the Cowboys, were down 18, 34, 35-17. Yeah. They came roaring back. They got 2 quick touchdowns, but the clock basically ran out on them. They're the onside kick. Tons of Hall of Famers in that game. Just fantastic game. Super Bowl 13. Loaded. I know people basically remember the Jackie Smith dropped a touchdown pass, but Randy White got stuck picking up the ball on a kickoff, and he's running with a clubbed hand because his hand's broken, and he fumbled the ball, and that helped the Steelers out a lot. And the Steelers scored 2 touchdowns back to back real fast. And that was like a 1-2 punch that basically secured the win, I thought. And Lid Swan, that he always had these kangaroo catches in the end zone. Fantastic player. Yep. So that's my number one. Steelers, Cowboys. I'm not a homer. I don't pick my team. I pick the best game.
I'm a fucking homer. Fuck that.
I'm a homer. But I legitimately think that Super Bowl 43 was the best Super Bowl of all time.
Oh yeah, that's a good pick. That's a good pick.
Came up with the term Hail Mary too, I think, if I remember right.
Yeah. I should have picked Steelers Cardinals, but I guess I messed that one.
All right, number 80.
Number 80?
Yeah.
I don't know why you didn't pick this number one.
I'll tell you why.
If you listen, Super Bowl fucking 23, Niners versus Bengals. what is it? Like 4 minutes left in the. How many minutes was it left in the game, Jerry?
Like a little bit under, like 2:53, something
2
like
minutes. It's the first time that they said this is what the Super Bowl's been expecting, somebody to come back in the last few minutes of a Super Bowl.
that. Boo with that hat.
Joe Montana did it, and Jerry Rice was a fucking decoy. And it went to John Taylor. How could that not be your number one Super Bowl, Jerry?
I'll tell you why.
John
me
Taylor
why.
was a strong number 2 receiver on that
It
team.
was. Yeah.
But it was a decoy. And one other story about that Super Bowl, Harris Barton, rookie offensive line, he said Joe Montana got in the huddle in that fucking last thing and calmed them down, but said, "Hey, there's John Candy." We knew our quarterback was calm because he noticed John Candy was in the fucking crowd. So, hey, look, there's John Candy. And that calmed them the fuck down. That's why he was called Joe Cool. And that is the greatest Super Bowl I've ever seen in my life. Why, Jerry, didn't you pick that number one?
Let me tell you why it was the best Super Bowl. It's a Super Bowl 51, New England over Atlanta. Never have we seen a comeback like that in the Super Bowl. First overtime game in a Super Bowl. And it was the game that convinced me that Tom Brady was the best quarterback that ever played the game.
Yeah.
That's why it was the best Super Bowl, in my opinion. Hands down.
You're wrong, but it's okay.
He is one athlete in rarity that I just always rooted against him. And
I did too.
I gave up rooting against him.
I never rooted against Tom Brady. I never rooted against him.
I'm just going to sit back and enjoy him play the game.
It's like Patrick Mahomes now. Nobody wants to root for him.
That's what I'm doing with Patrick Mahomes. I'm just enjoying him watch.
I think Patrick Mahomes is a good guy.
Yeah, of course.
I think he's a good guy. I just don't. Man. I'm just tired of this shit. I'm tired of the fucking Taylor Swift shit. I'm tired of all that.
I can look at her all day.
I don't like Kelsey. I don't like Travis Kelsey. I think he's a piece of shit. Dude,
why? Piece of shit.
He's a piece of shit.
Wow. Okay.
He's a little emotional on playing the game, but outside the field,
he pushed his fucking 60-year-old coach in the Super Bowl last year. He's a dick.
Emotion. He's a dick. Emotion. But yeah, hands down. Okay, real quick before we end it, Andy, prediction Super Bowl.
Chiefs. I don't know the score, but I'm rooting for the Chiefs because I want to see a three-peat. I want to see a three-peat.
All right. Joseph.
Chiefs.
Mark, Dolly.
Eagles. Oh, go ahead.
What's the rumor number for the Super Bowl? I forgot.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put the hex on the Eagles by rooting for the Eagles because I'm like mush lately for rooting for NFL teams. So I'll root for the Eagles and hope they lose. So there you go.
What do you got, Mark?
Eagles. Debo picks the Eagles. I'm going with the Eagles. Fuck the fucking Chiefs. They killed us in 2 Super Bowls and then didn't get no fucking holding calls when they fucking killed Bosa in both those Super Bowls. They were fucking choke holding him.
If the Chiefs win,
that's a long prediction you got there, Mark.
If the Chiefs win,
did you watch the tape? Bosa was fucking choke hold, and they didn't call holding.
No, I didn't watch the tape, Mark. I watched it on my HD TV.
I have an idea. If the Chiefs
break
win,
out the
Mark,
Betamax.
if the Chiefs win, you have to break your TV. Okay.
No, I'm not that way. I don't.
Yeah, why'd you say that? I did that. I never.
I said Cowboys jerseys.
I never ripped no Cowboys jersey.
It was a joke, Jerry. Calm the fuck down.
Okay, Jerry, what's your prediction?
I cannot, in good conscience, ever root for the Philadelphia Eagles. So I'm going to take the refs to win this game. I mean, the Chiefs to win this game.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I got to change my pick. I got to pick the refs too.
So
I know they're going to make their presence known.
I've learned to hate the whole town of Philadelphia, their fan base. They're locking up fucking shit. They're boarding up buildings there right now as we speak.
Hey, that one kid died.
That just says win or lose, your town is fucked.
Well, yeah, no, they riot when they win.
I know, that's what I mean.
I've never seen a city riot when they win.
So fuck that town, fuck that team. Go Patrick Mahomes. First, I've never. I'm
What's
a
wrong with you,
Swiftie.
Jerry?
I'm a Kelsey fan. Go
What
for
the
the
fuck's
3-peat,
wrong
man.
with you, Jerry?
What?
What?
I don't know. You can never. Come on, you can't go for the Chiefs, man.
Why can't I?
I don't know. I'm just giving you shit.
Hey, Joe Montana.
Okay.
played for the Chiefs.
Real quick. Chiefs or
Hey, I
Cowboys
did
in
go
Super
for
Bowl?
the Chiefs that year, but when the Chiefs played the Niners, I wanted the Niners.
Chiefs or Cowboys of Super Bowl. Who would you pick?
Chiefs.
That's why I feel about Philadelphia. I hate that.
Well, Philadelphia's not as bad as the Cowboys. There's
Well,
more history.
If the Chiefs win,
They
Sunday,
throw
they're gonna have
bottles
five,
at
just so you
kids.
know,
They're
okay?
they throw little glass bottles at little kids.
Well, they did. They did cheer when
Fuck them.
Michael Irvin
And
got
fuck
knocked the
Big
fuck
Dom.
out.
Big Dom can kiss my big hairy ass, man. Fuck that guy.
Well,
Big Dom should not even be allowed in the stadium. Jeez, he gets.
Just-
All right,
just-
guys.
Oh.
Yeah.
Just,
All right,
just be
so what
ready.
do you-
The Chiefs
what do you-
they're going to have 5 if they
What do
win.
you got? So
5 for
we
the
go.
Niners.
So what do you got to promote, Andy?
Oh yeah, we are going to Black Spinner Circle. We are doing the Producer's Chair Part 2. So we got that coming up, and also a big thing. We are moving our shows to Tuesday nights now.
You
So
never invite me on there, and I don't do that metal show anymore. I'm just joking.
I'm
just
so
joking.
Tuesday nights. But
I don't think Al likes me. I'm just joking. All right.
Well, we're going to be doing the producer chair. That's the one where each of us pick one producer and we rank their albums that they produced.
That's cool.
So I'll be doing Ted Templeman that day.
Oh, nice one. Joseph.
Go Steelers.
All right, Mark, anything to promote besides RMCP?
Promoting. I'm promoting. Listen to Black Sabbath and stay frosty. Okay.
Yeah, RMCP.
I bought these remasters of these awful albums. That's how much I love Black Sabbath.
Ooh.
There you go.
Dave Frosty is one of the worst songs ever written by one of the greatest bands ever.
I love that song. Jerry, promote something.
We got 3 Shots Down. We're filming an episode, hopefully next weekend sometime, and hopefully get that out soon. We're gonna try to get 2 shows a month, and at least that should be doable.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, or we're doing a freeform show Sunday morning. We're gonna be doing the Blue Merge debut album. It's okay to announce it now. That's gonna be a lot of fun talking about that. Like and subscribe, all that happy horse shit. Have a good Super Bowl, and if anybody wants to do a video or something after the Super Bowl, talk about it. You know, maybe we should do that. Maybe I don't know.
I think that'd be a good idea. We could turn that into a Gridiron Smackdown episode.
I'm just gonna say one thing. Why am I the only one promoting 3 Shots Down?
I do.
Yeah, really. Come on, you guys, help us out.
Why am I the only one promoting that fucking show?
You are.
Why am I the only one putting in the fucking groups? What the fuck is wrong with you, Andy, Kate, and Jerry? Why aren't you promoting this shit? I'm the only one putting it.
Well, I'm not on Facebook anymore, so I'm on it maybe once.
I'm just saying I promote this shit.
I appreciate it.
I do promote it, Mark. You're not the only one.
I don't see it, so I'm just saying.
I'm so sorry that you don't see me promoting it, Mark.
Well, I see you promoting Black Spinner Circle, but I don't see you promoting
that's his.
Hey, I love you, Andy. That's why I say that. Okay. Hey, but also tomorrow on Freeform Rock Podcast, we got Genesis, The Lamb Lies Down on Broadway, where Joseph takes control of the Freeform Rock Podcast with Andy Rodriguez and fucking Jerry and Mooger Fooger.
And the insane ramblings of the Mooger Fooger.
Yeah.
Hey, I didn't lose your beginning.
Holy shit! I couldn't do that show. It was like 11 o'clock. You guys are still fucking in the process of doing.
Well, that's
show.
because we had to re-record the entire first part.
And then I deleted that re-recorded because it did come out.
I was like, what is this? What is this? The Rush episode? Then I go, it's a fucking prog band. Just as long as their songs, of course.
And a double album at that.
A double album from a prog band, and then
shit!
For every song, Mooger Fooger had to say first that he loved it and then that he hated it.
I would have gone insane doing that.
I almost did.
Yeah,
you were on there, Jerry, weren't you?
The very end that came
in for
on.
the end.
He came at the end. But the thing is, I thought I lost Joseph's beginning, but it came back, and I deleted the re-recording of it.
And you still had like 4 or 5 songs to go when I joined it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, that's because to be fair, that was we had to re-record the entire first half an hour,
and then that got deleted, and I put the original back in. So that was cool, man. So check out the Freeform Rock podcast. It'll be up right after I put this episode up because I always put it up on Thursday nights, so I don't have to do it in the morning, and I will promote it in the morning. So thank you guys for being on here. What are we doing next week, Jerry?
We'll talk about it. We don't know yet.
I thought we do have it. We're doing UFO.
Was it the
Top
UFO
11
one?
UFO.
Oh, UFO.
Who's on that? Are you on
That
there?
was Travis's.
That was Travis's pick.
That was Travis's.
Joseph, are you on there?
No.
Are you on there, Andy?
I don't know any UFO songs. So
Yeah, I'm very. I'm gonna have to.
I'm just doing
UFO
Strangers of the Night.
I have that essential, what do you call it, collection of 10 albums you buy, like a whole bunch of albums.
The box set. I have that.
Mark, you want to be on the UFO next week?
If it involves Roman numerals, count me in.
Okay,
we'll make it that way. Song
number.
What's 11?
Song number
XI?
VIII.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's get the fuck out of here. Everybody.
Let's get the fuck out of here. Later, guys.
Peace,
man.
everybody.
Hey, go Eagles! Fuck the Chiefs.
Enjoy the game, everybody. Even though we'll all be in the chat room talking about it, but let's all get together afterwards on Gridiron and SmackDown, and we'll talk about the game. We'll talk about the halftime that I'm not going to watch, but
the halftime is the only thing that I am watching.
Right?
Hey, if you guys wait till I get back from my girlfriend's house, I will be on there. All right.
I'll probably hop on.
All right. Later, guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Bye.
Everybody.